guys, what's up? Hello. Welcome to episode 3 of Grovelore. I'm super excited about tonight. Some really good news. I finally got episodes 1 and 2 up on YouTube. So on my YouTube channel, you guys are able to watch these now after they're done. The first two took me forever to get uploaded. Moving forward, I expect to have them up on YouTube the Sunday after they're recorded. And as Christian has just said, also Spotify. I've got them on Spotify. If you search Grovelore on Spotify, you will find them there. I want to apologize in advance right now. I have all of my alerts and sound effects turned off, so as not to detract from the conversation that I'm having, and also so that when I upload to Spotify and places like that where you can't necessarily see what's going on, the audio makes sense. So that will not be there. Today, the guest that I have is someone that most of you, if not all of you, know, Slevin Kalevera. He is a mod for the very big, very successful, very wonderful, very inviting Facebook group TSAN, as well as a phenomenal, inspirational Twitch streamer. I absolutely adore this man. He's making faces at me in the Discord right now. I love the shit out of him. I'm super excited for you guys to meet him. He's super interesting. I'm super stoked. Without further ado.
Hello. Hi. I'm Slevin.
Hey.
I'm the guy that's on the show with wait, I don't know which direction my camera is right now. So we're just going to wing it.
Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Tell them who you are, what you do in content creation. Tell them a little bit more about your content and what to expect when they come check you out.
So I am Slevin Kalevera. Also James Saville is my real name. I am a local business owner here in West Michigan, and I started streaming a couple years ago. Actually, almost exactly 2 years ago, I started taking it seriously. And I found TSAN right after I hit affiliates, and basically just spearheaded. I'm now one of the main admins of the group, and former team leader. I stepped down from that while my business was starting up, and Wes is actually here. He's the team leader for Team TSAN. You come to see my content. We're gonna hang out. We're just gonna chill. I play a lot of story games right now. We're working through Final Fantasy VII Remake, and GTA 5 is my main game. I don't play online. I just play the story over and over. Once I start having more time to stream, I want to start speedrunning it. So that was the ultimate goal when I started streaming. Other than that, hi everybody. Come in.
Hell yeah. And so you say you joined in TSAN right after you got affiliate 2 years ago?
Yep. So I got affiliate on, I think it was June 2nd or something along those lines. And I found TSAN like literally the next day because I was like, okay, well, I did this thing. Now I need to learn how to do the thing.
I mean,
and
that's fair.
Thankfully, I found TSAN first because that was the one that really caught my eye. I don't know why it did, but the community was really engaging. Actually, I do know why it did. The community was really engaging, really lots of knowledge there. And Wes was there. So I found Wes, and that's my other that's me. We're the same person.
Yeah, I think TSAN was one of the very first ones that I found also. I kind of just went on and I went on Facebook and searched Twitch and just joined all of them that don't say follow for follow because
I didn't know about follow for follow.
Yeah, see, I guess I didn't right away, but I had done I had a little bit of a past with YouTube and things like that. So I had some amount of exposure to it, and so then when I started seeing F4F, I was like, what's that? And I looked and was like, oh, follow for follow. I didn't realize that was an issue, but I do know that that's not an authentic way to grow. So I always say when people are like, oh, well, I fell for follow when I started, I'm always like, everyone does. I'm very lucky that I did not because I did have a little bit of a past with content creation. So I did not fall for it right away. So I did just kind of join all the groups that did not have the words follow for follow in them. And I started checking descriptions and rule sets, and if I would only join them if they said this is not a follow for follow group. I was like, all right, I can be here then.
I had no idea what follow for follow was. I had no idea what the terminology was. I just knew I wanted to play video games online.
Hell yeah.
And then I've become less of kind of a video game streamer and more of we've kind of dubbed personality streamer a little bit more.
Okay, sweet.
Hang out, we talk about things, and kind of like what this setting is. As Wes said the other day, I don't play video games. I just stream.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I mean, We kind of say that about Slurp too, but it's a little bit more of a roast when we say it about Slurp because he doesn't play video games. He's just chatting all the time. It's let's
Yeah.
catch up on chat all the time.
I was terrified of just chatting. I was terrified of
Really,
it.
I was too when I started streaming, but now I love it. I will spend hours in just chatting. I think it's so fun.
Oh yeah, I love it now,
It's
especially when chat's like,
so good.
mm-hmm.
So that actually that does actually bring up a good question. So you say that you didn't know any of the terminology, you didn't know anything, you just knew that you wanted to play video games online. How did you find Twitch? Were you on Twitch as a viewer before you started streaming? What made you start streaming? Like, tell me about that journey.
So I've been on Twitch since 2017, but just literally as like just the occasional walk by. I've actually since like Justin TV days. I don't know what year that was, but my buddy, we had started playing Overwatch together online, and we had started getting really really good, and we met a few people around the country. The one who I was playing with, he lives locally, and then we formed this group of like 6 or 7 guys that we got together like twice a week, and we just played competitive for hours. We'd sit there and shit talk the whole time and just go and just get nuts. Well, Biff decided to start streaming. He gave it a whirl, and he started
Hello Biff.
Yep, hello Biff. Yes.
Okay.
So he started streaming, and we just showed up and got him affiliate like that. You know, because we're 6 of us. It's not that hard to do that. We just had to get the followers in. So the average viewers and the stream time was knocked out in less than a week.
Sure.
And then he hit partner in like 11 months. So halfway to his journey, I started streaming, just messing around, trying it out. And I would stream like once or twice a month. And then after he got partner, I just decided I'm going to just start doing this. We had just moved into this place here. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. I got a bunch of extra hardware. So I built a stream PC, which I had no idea what that really meant until I started learning it. And started streaming GTA for a little while. And it was terrible. It was the worst. I was using a Rock Band mic. Those little USB ones you get with the Rock Band game. I still have it. It's over there. I keep that as a reminder because now I've got like a mixer and an expensive mic and a nice camera.
Yeah, and like I laugh when you say that, but I mean when I first started streaming, I streamed directly from my PS4. Like I didn't even have, I wasn't doing anything. It was straight from PlayStation. I was sitting in a big a big chair in my living room, just squished up as close as I could to my TV because I was like, I don't have anything. This is what we're doing.
I still have a couple of my first VODs on YouTube actually, and every once in a while I'll go back and watch and be like, man, just the crazy difference to what it is now. Because like I have a pretty basic overlay and I have a few basic scenes. Like I don't go over the top with all the raid scenes and stuff like that, but it's really cool to see the difference. Like I had one scene, it was me, the camera, I'd turn it on and I'd turn it off. That's it.
Yeah.
And now it's like I've got 4 scenes for gameplay. I've got like retro. I've got like a just chatting scene.
Yeah.
And I've got a stream deck, which is fun.
Yes. Do you have, what stream deck do you have? Do you have the mini? Do you have the regular? The what?
Yeah. The 15 key, the original.
Yeah, that's
I want to get the XL. I need to get the XL.
I like want the XL just because I constantly am like, ooh, new hardware, I'll take it. But like I don't need that. I don't have this one filled up at all, not even close. I don't need that fucking XL.
Like 5 folders full of stuff, and switching between them just sucks. So like being able to expand it out across like most of it across one page would be really nice.
Yeah, and that's fair. I have a couple folders, and usually it's not too difficult to switch between them. And then, but I have one folder that is scenes, and inside of scenes, I have a folder that is regular streaming, and I have a folder that is for my Grovelore scenes. And so, like, it's a little convoluted, but ultimately, I don't feel like I need the
I've
XL.
literally got a folder of scenes, and that's pretty much it. And then, like, my home screen's got a couple of commands. I can pause my alerts. I can start and stop my stream PC. Thanks, Wes, by the way. And then I've got a sound folder and then a Twitch commands folder, and that's about it.
I do have a
switching
sound
from my
folder.
scenes to my soundboard is just it doesn't feel natural.
Well,
so
it's not
having
a
like
sounds folder, but
bar would be cool.
yeah, I have a button for if I push it, it opens up every page that I self promote to, and then I have the scenes thing that I was talking about. I have. Yeah, it's like the quickest. I just am like, I push it, and then every Twitch page or every Facebook page I do, every Reddit, or my Twitter, everything, it just opens up, and then I just have to copy and paste into all of them.
Oh man, I go through and I search Facebook for Twitch.
I used to until I got this.
Oh, that's so smart.
I've got a button for me to just push for like ads. I have a button that's full of like some of my most used chat commands that I want to be able to like go back in, and that's in a folder. I have a folder for Spotify that is like next, play, pause, all that, volume, all that.
I use my keyboard for that one. I've got the media keys right there.
And then I have another folder that, like, if I push it, it opens up OBS, Discord. Oh fuck, what does it open up? It opens up a Twitch, web browser. My chat bot, just like all of the like essential stuff that I need that is not directly tied to promoting myself.
Yeah, I used to have a hotkey that opened up all my streaming stuff, and then I don't know why I stopped using it. I got rid of it for some other button that I put in it. Oh,
I need to change
cam.
mine.
I removed it for the ham cam. That's why.
Yeah, I need to fix mine because mine's not even. It doesn't even work right because like I have the thing that opens up the chat bot is tied to. I have a second user on this computer that needs to be removed from the computer, but has not been, and it has their chat bot is what opens.
Oh, that's no fun.
It's like an old roommate's chat bot opens up, and then it's like, here's all of your old roommate's commands, and I'm like, this is not.
This is not what I want.
I don't need these. And like the first time that I pushed it and it opened it, I was like, what happened? Like I freaked out. I thought all my shit was gone. It was not. It was the wrong file.
That would have given me a heart attack for sure. It
was the wrong file, but I was scared. So.
Oh wait, I just realized.
Yeah.
I saw the ring in your. Oh, now I can. Hey, we can see me.
We can see you. I love it.
I was like, I'm dark for. I saw the ring in your glasses. I was like, I am a professional streamer, I swear. Anyhow.
So once you did find TSAN, how long were you in TSAN until you took on a more management moderation position?
Oh, I joined the tech team probably like 2 or 3 months after. And that's mostly Discord based, and as Wes, I just keep bringing you up. As Wes will point out, I'm not a huge Discord person.
Yeah.
But then some leadership had changed, and we needed somebody for the team. And I was like, I'll give it a whirl. Let's, just drop in and try it out, and just started blossoming from there. And then I think we had one other change in leadership in the Facebook team, and I honestly swore to God that Lisa hated me. I swear.
Really?
Well, she can sometimes have that off-putting personality, but she's just so forward with everything. So I was like, maybe I'll put my name in the hat. And then I became a moderator, and we had to have somebody take over like streamer of the week and all that fun stuff. And I was constantly asking other moderators, the admins, to like watch while I set up the buddy group challenges and stuff like that. Because people would comment randomly while I'm trying to put the groups together. And finally, Lisa was like, oh, I need somebody to do streamer of the week. And I was like, I can do it, but I can't edit the cover photo. She's like, all right, you're an admin. Done. And I weaseled my way in. That's how it worked.
Right. I dig it. No, that's fantastic. I'm glad that that worked out as it did. I'm glad that we have you as a part of that. You were, I think, the first like friend that I made in that group.
Oh, well.
I'm like fairly certain you're the first person that I like hit it off with in that group and that I clicked with or connected with.
Because I'm so lovable.
You are, though. You're just so lovable. You're so easy to get along with. What do you think has been for you the biggest challenge in your in both of those journeys, like in your streaming journey and in your time as a moderator in TSAN?
The key word there is time.
For both.
When I started streaming, I was working for my best friend who owned a bail bonds company and was in the process of opening like 8 more businesses at the time. And he had given me control of his party bus company, which is a 24/7 job. I don't care what anybody says. It's a nonstop job. You're always answering the phone. You're always putting out fires. You're always getting buses inspected. Plus, I was working for him part-time at his bail bonds place. Plus, I was doing all kinds of other odd jobs. And I was like, I'll start streaming. Why not, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people think it's just, sit down, go live, and the thing will happen. And the thing does not just happen.
No.
You have to spend a lot of other time. Like, this is my second ever panel or interview that I've ever done, just because I've been so busy doing those things. And then I left his job. I left his businesses to start my own in October. And then that's when I took a break from streaming. I have been off for about the past 5 months, I think. And I just started coming back occasionally, trying to figure out my schedule and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
but time is just is the biggest thing because like you don't have
It
a lot of
is.
it. I've got a girlfriend, I've got a career, I've got 4 cats. It's all these things, and I still want to go out and socialize with my friends, which thanks COVID hasn't been able to happen in a month and a half. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Yeah, that has been. I feel like, and that was actually one of the things that I thought of pretty quickly once the stay at home order. Like, I mean, once after the initial obvious, like, all of these things are happening, here's how this is going to affect me, here's how this is going to affect the people I love, and this is what's going to affect everything. Was just simply, like one of my first things was, oh, I wonder if Slevin will start streaming again. Like,
Yeah,
because you had
I thought,
recently gone on hiatus, and then you had popped in a couple times. You'd done a few
mhm.
streams here and there, and then I hadn't seen you again. And I was like, well, it seems like time is his only like
Yeah, it's the biggest thing. It's
issue.
killed
So
me
I
down
wonder if
a
this means he's gonna
lot.
stream again. And I'm really glad that you have come back to it.
Well, I'm not streaming because of COVID either. Because I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of crossing my fingers, hoping that I was gonna be part of the shutdown. But my business is deemed essential, so we've actually been busier than we've ever been for both locations. Um, so like tomorrow, I'm gonna wake up early. We don't open until 2 on Saturdays. I'm gonna wake up and go in probably like 10 or 11 and try to catch up some more. Like we're that busy. It's
Damn.
insane. So like I kind of sort of low key wanted to not be essential and like have to shut
Yeah.
down. That sucks because I have an employee I've got to look out for and all that fun stuff. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad we're still open. But like I really wanted to use that time to maybe jump back in and start streaming full time. Because when I was streaming 3 days a week, set schedule, all the time, bang on. I think I was only late like twice. Like it's that was something that was very important to me to make sure I was on schedule every time.
Mm-hmm.
And that I had no idea what my schedule was going to look like after the business started. So I was just like, all right, back burner. It's not as important as this is because this is my life ahead of me. And eventually, hopefully, the store will be more on autopilot. I'll have more employees, and I can actually have more time
Take a
to
step
stay at
back.
home and
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when when you posted something about being essential, I was initially like, why? Like you fix
Right.
computers and that's great, but like why? Because like I understand grocery
Because
stores staying open, but like
Mhm.
why are y'all open? I didn't get that at first, but the more I thought about it, I mean like everyone's working from home. Everyone's doing
Yeah.
school from home. Everyone needs their computers. We all need our devices right now to be able to stay afloat.
And I'll tell you, most of my repairs in the past, I would say, past month have been consoles. Like
Really?
I have fixed
Really?
I think there was a straight shot there where I fixed like 70 PS4s and like 15 switches in like a 2.5 week span. It was
That's
ridiculous.
very
And
interesting.
I have 12 consoles in line right now. I think I have 8 to 10 computers, and then I think my employee has like 6 phones in line. So it's not just about the working from home. It's also about keeping those kids who are now stuck at home busy, not going
Yeah.
outside and playing because it's kind of not what's supposed to happen. They got to stay in all their, all those consoles have been sitting around not being used because the kids are being busy with school. Are
Yeah.
now like, oh crap, this is broken. I need to get it fixed so that oh shit, let's go. So all of a sudden, I had to master repairing consoles, and that's kind of been a lot of fun. I love learning new stuff.
That's
So.
awesome. And yeah, I mean, that's interesting you say that, like, well, because the kids need to find something to stay busy. I
Hmm.
cannot imagine. I can't imagine, like, having to be, like, the fact that these schools are out and everything, and I'm sure the kids are all like, hell yeah, fucking, I don't want to go to school, I don't do schoolwork, whatever. But, like, as a former preschool teacher, and we had every school that I worked at also had a before and after school program
I did
that
not
took
know
up to
this.
fifth, huh? Oh, I
I
was a
didn't know you.
preschool teacher for 3 years.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
That's
I taught
awesome.
preschool and pre-K for 3 years. It was 3 and 4 year olds. But we also had a before and after school program where we would take kids up to fifth
Hmm.
grade. Um, and oh my God, every time that there was like a school shutdown or like Christmas break, summer break, a holiday, whatever, like we would normally stay open because we were privately ran. So we would
Right.
stay open and we would just take those before and after kids all
Oof.
fucking day. Summer turned into summer camp for our kindergarten through fifth graders. And like, oh my God, I hated it. Like, I hated this kid
That
so
sounds
much.
terrifying.
I
I've never
loved
been
my
funny.
4-year-olds. I loved my 3 and 4-year-olds. I don't like 10-year-olds. I don't like 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. Those kids
It's
suck.
snotty.
They
Yeah.
suck. Oh my God, we had a 9-year-old once. Fucking this kid. Ooh, this kid. I remember a day. He was just the most spoiled, rotten little punk ass. And I remember a day that like his mom came in and was like, "Child, we need like I don't want to say his name, but like he was like, "Kid, we need to go."
Did she call her
No,
kid
she was
child?
like, I don't know, Joe, it's time to go home. And he was like, no, hold on. And she was like, no, we're in a hurry. It's time for your sister's gymnastics. Like, we're on a tight schedule. We need to get out of here. Because I worked in a very like wealtty area. And there's all these rich kids or
Oh,
whatever.
fair enough. Oh yeah.
And so everyone always had gymnastics and swim and whatever. And they were like, it's time for your sister's gymnastics class. And he was like, no, 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 no. And she grabbed him by the arm and was like, come on, we need to go. And he turned around and slapped her across the face.
Oh,
And
what?
that was, yep.
Oh,
Slapped
no.
his mother across the face. And I was like, you do not hit your mother. Like,
That
I
is
was
insane.
pissed. I was so mad. I was
This
like,
is why I don't like kids.
who?
Nope.
You did what? I was so mad. I was so fucking mad at that kid. Ooh, I was so
Nope.
mad at that kid.
Ain't gonna do it.
And that was just the energy that I was dealing with all the time. Every time that I got thrown into like the school agers room, it was like, hey, here's 30 of that. Would you like to deal with it? And I was like, absolutely not. Give me my 4-year-olds, please. They say stupid shit and sing Disney songs. I want them back.
That's okay. That's my state. Yeah, sing stupid shit and Disney songs. Let's go. That's all right. I'm down with that. Let's
Yo,
go.
one of my classes of pre-K kids sang Remember Me from Coco at their graduation, and my bitch ass bawled my eyes out.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's
You
so
fail.
sad. I cried so hard.
And I'm Latino. I mean, come on. I should have
Like,
watched
come
it.
on. Get it together. Actually, I guess this is probably a good time to like, so how is COVID affecting you personally as a small business owner and as a content creator? What are the effects for you and for like your community, both like locally and on Twitch?
As a business owner, like we just talked about, I'm busier than I've ever been.
Sure.
Because everybody just needs their stuff fixed. As far as a content creator, I don't think I've been back long enough to really judge that. Because I mean, when I left, my numbers were like really low. I just wasn't really into it. I wasn't feeling it. Like, because I was trying too hard to play things that I thought everybody wanted to watch instead of playing the things that I wanted to play. I would say my comeback was fantastic. And I know that people
Absolutely.
showed up for me. And there's more time for people to watch because a lot of people can't, or they can't go to work, so they're just going to stay home and watch Twitch. I've had so many IRL friends show up recently; it's ridiculous. Like people I actually know in person, which is how I started my channel. But it kind of like became more TSAN members and other groups that I'm in. My IRL friends were kind of just there to build the base and help me out, and then they were like, yeah, it's just Slevin, whatever. But it's literally like I've got
Slev. It's never just Slev.
It's just Slev.
It's
But
Slev and Ham though.
it's Slevin Ham, this little fat boy. He's sleeping.
It's Slev and Ham the cat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the best. But I can't really say that COVID's impacted my streaming. I do know a few members in my community are dealing with it directly, which my heart goes out to them. Like that sucks. Some people have lost family members, they've lost friends.
Yeah.
And it always just irritates me when people are like, do you know anybody who's infected by COVID-19? I don't. I'm like, that's because your circle's like this big and you don't know anybody. Sorry.
No, I feel it. I mean, so like,
pisses me off when people do
I
that.
was really nervous about how COVID could potentially affect me and my stream because like, so you, and this is not to, I don't want you to think that this is me in any way minimizing how things are affecting you also. Cause like, I definitely respect that you've got your own stuff going on and that like especially with like your business being so chaotic and all that, but you are an essential worker. And so you still have work and so you still have income and that's rad.
Yep.
My work schedule hasn't changed because I've been a full-time Twitch streamer since the summer. This is all I do for a living. And I was terrified. I was like, you know, people are out of jobs.
Hmm.
People need groceries. People need to make sure that their essentials are taken care of and they don't have a ton of extra money. Why the hell are they going to subscribe to me? I'm not essential. I'm just fucking some girl on the internet. I'm like an extra entertainment thing. I'm not, people aren't going to give me bits. People aren't going to sub. People aren't going to do any of these things. And while I am
Hmm.
never one to be like, you should be doing these things, because I super don't believe that, I am in the back of my brain silently like, well, this is how I pay my bills.
Yep.
This is how I
And
make
it's
a
okay for you to
living.
think that way.
What am I
It's
going to
totally okay for you.
do if like if my community is out of work, then that means that I'm not getting paid. So what do
Hmm.
I do? So that was like a huge fear for me. I'm shocked that it has not happened that way.
Yeah, it's
Um
if you build if your community is like ours are, they only want to see you succeed. And when like this has been my best month in probably a year. Like just this just and the comeback has something to do with that. But at the same time, it's like
I have people popping off and like fucking like Co-Stark, thank you for the bits. Red Chunk,
yeah,
thank you for the subs. Like as I'm saying that, people are like,
IRL
"We
friends.
still love you." I'm like, oh, thank you,
No, it's
thank you.
and they know that times are tough, and I know I feel better about myself in this world when I'm doing good things and trying to help other people.
Yeah,
So I think that a lot of our community kind of feels the same way, which is awesome. I don't technically need the extra income, but I really like having it, because it justifies me being able to upgrade and improve things on my stream. Like
yeah,
recently, I
absolutely.
just got the capture card, I got the mic, and that was just all from having a good business that's going to give me money, but also like I know I'm putting this money in here so that I
Yeah,
can be a better entertainer as well, or
yeah,
try
absolutely.
anyway.
And I mean that's a good. So I mean, because we just did. My community just put together a big fundraiser for Slurp to try and raise money for
Hmm.
his PC, which you're aware of because I
Super
shared that.
rad.
Yeah, I was gonna say Blue and I shared that with you. To try and raise money for him to get his PC, and we got his like because he broke it into three phases, and we got his like phase one or two. I don't know when I donated to him. I want to say I donated in phase two, or no,
Hmm.
I finished up phase one, got it all the way completed, and then phase two just popped off, and then we got
Yeah,
him all the way paid for last night. So and
that's
like
a
I'm
fantastic.
shocked and I'm stoked that we were able to do that. That meant like, and because I mean that meant a lot to me, and because I also am like this is my only income, but I threw in quite a bit of money to that
Hmm.
situation myself just because it felt good to be able to do that.
Hmm.
I like I think one thing that we all I think we are all feeling this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if we're not having to deal with direct effects of it, I think we're all feeling it. We're all depressed. We're all stuck
Yeah.
inside. We're all really feeling it. And so I think any little thing that you can do that can bring joy to you, like do it. If it brings you joy to help support someone financially in a specific goal of theirs, then fucking do it. If it makes you
Yep.
feel good to lay in bed and eat a fucking bag of potato chips, then do it. And because that's like, there's that post that's been going around, and there's been mixed feelings about it. And I kind of want to hear your take on it.
Oh,
Um,
I know which one you're talking about because
you
I
know
posted
exactly
the
because you
original.
posted it also, and then I think there was backlash after you did, and you were like, "Oh
Oh yeah.
wait," and the one that says, "If you don't come out of this with a skill or
An
something
improved side
like that,
hustle, a
yeah,
new
if you don't
language learner or
improve
something.
yourself during this, then you never. It was never about the time; it was about the motivation or whatever."
Yep.
And the first time that I saw that, I was like, "Fuck yeah, I agree."
It's
Like,
exactly why I
do it
shared it.
up.
I was like, let's go.
Because that was a big thing for me for a long time when I was streaming part-time. I was like, well, if I had the time, I could sustain full-time streaming, but I just need the
Mhm.
time to put into it to like gain that audience. And that was my excuse, and then I finally quit my job and I was like, "See, look, I fucking did it." And so when I saw that post, I was like, "Yeah." But there's been
Yeah.
backlash. So what are your thoughts now?
So I'm lucky enough to not to suffer from any major mental illness. Depression hits me every once in a while, but nothing like detrimental to where I'm like thinking of throwing myself off a cliff or anything. But this crisis has like really put a lot of people to the test. I'm naturally a socialite. I like going out and hanging out with my friends and all that fun stuff. And it's okay. And this is what was brought up to me in the comments. And I totally 100% agree with it. It's okay to be a sloth during all this. It's okay to just take time and literally grieve about this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't hugged anybody other than my girlfriend in almost 2 months. Worst thing. I'm a hugger. That's what I do.
Yo,
If I see
same.
you in public, I hug. You know this. You
There
bet me.
was a day, yeah, no, I know damn well. There was a day that my roommate and I were like drinking and watching TV, and I was like emotional about something, and then I just was like, Ange, can I hug you? And she was like, oh my God, wait, we live together. We can hug. I was like, fuck yeah, we can. And we shared like the longest, just like, please just embrace me. Like, I just need physical human contact.
I made a post a little while after that. I was like, prepare yourselves for when this is over, because you're going to get the longest, most full contact, invasive body hug you've ever gotten from anybody for 5 minutes from me. The hugging and a hashtag that the hugging is going to start as soon as we're allowed to.
Hell yeah.
Prepare yourselves. So
Hell
I wanted to get hashtag hugging trending, but I guess it didn't really work out. So if you guys want to do it on Twitter, just go ahead and do it. Just make sure you tag me. Okay?
I didn't see it, but let's start it. Let's start it now. Hashtag the hugging. That's what comes after COVID is the hugging.
The hugging. It's going to be a healing. It's going to be a healing period for us.
Yes. Yes. Big yes. And because when I first saw that post, I think I've been on kind of the same journey as you in that. Then when I saw it, I was like, fuck yeah. And now I've kind of just been like, oh, you know what? Actually, nah. Live your life. Do what's good for you.
My buddy I mentioned that I worked for, he's one of those people that is just, he doesn't stop. He's not, if he has an idea, if he doesn't act on it in the first 10 minutes, and that's, I think this goes with anybody. If you have an idea and you don't act on it in the first 10 minutes to an hour, you're probably not going to do it. So he tries to act on every single one of his ideas that he has to see if it's going to work.
That's interesting.
He built like 17 businesses doing that. And he built those businesses because his primary business was in jeopardy, because in Michigan, we were looking at this thing called bail reform. So they were going to get rid of bail. So basically catch and release on all criminals. Hey, you just killed somebody. No, it's okay. Just make sure you come back on this date and time to your court date, blah, blah, blah. Literally, it was that bad. Like New York had it for 5 minutes. Wisconsin, a couple of other states all did it. And that would have put his business out of business. So he started finding other businesses that his employees were good at and built businesses around those. And those were his ideas. Just, okay, party bus company. You used to do wedding DJ. You know weddings and parties and stuff like that. You can run that. Oh, okay. And then he bought a bagel shop. He bought a pizza place. He bought he expanded his private investigations branch, made it a separate business. Like, he just did all of these different things. I'm just like, huh. Granted, he's stressed to the max now, especially now that all those businesses are like, I think he's still doing some car deals at his car dealership just because he's allowed to. The pizza place is banging, but like all the other places are pretty much closed. Like, it sucks. And that's how COVID does things.
Yeah. That's fucking oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen more recently posts that have been because that was cycling around a lot, and then I've seen posts more often recently that have been more like, yo, if somebody wants to learn how to play the guitar during this thing, that's rad. If somebody wants to be stoned every day during this thing,
go
fucking let them. It's none of your business what anybody else does with their time in their quarantine. Like,
exactly.
Just fucking live and let live. And I've kind of more so adapted that mindset now, rather than the like, hey, we should be productive. I've kind of gone more into the like, what the fuck ever, man. Like, the world is ending. Who cares? Just do.
Everybody else is being lazy. You don't have to be the shining star in this time frame.
Right. And it's like, that's the other end of that though, is like, it's okay to be super productive too during this time. If that's your personality type, if you're like a very type A personality, which I very much am, and you want to use this time to fucking start your podcast, get yourself on Spotify, start a more consistent streaming schedule, make all your merch, whatever, then like fucking do it. That's what I did. I've like the first couple weeks of this quarantine, because I go in waves where like, sometimes I'm super sad, but then I'll get a couple weeks where I'm just like, ooh, bitch, I'm feeling it. And I'm just like, I'm thriving. I'm doing this. Like, maybe I'm more introverted than I thought I was because I'm killing it. Like, I mean, so it's like, I have these like back and forths, and like it's totally okay to be that super productive person, but don't put anybody down for not being that. It's okay for them to not be that.
I've adopted the title omnivert because I like my alone time. This is my happy spot right here in my office. And
I spend a lot of time in my room or by myself in the woods.
I've always been that way. But I'm also like, you saw me when you came up and hung out on Unruly. Like, I'm talking with everybody, I'm interacting. That's my thing. That's my zone. But when I come home, I just don't want to be bothered by anything. I want to spend the time with my cats, my girlfriend, and my tech, and just ignore the rest of the world. So it's like I'm a little bit of both. So like I can totally thrive in this environment, but I really kind of miss going to the bar and hanging out with my friends.
Yeah. Oh my God, no! I told Kill You Quick that like as soon as this shit's over, like I'm coming back.
You know you are.
I'm absolutely coming back as soon as this shit is over. I need to see you. I need to see Kill You Quick, because now every time that he comes into my chat, I'm like, this man. I shared the best pizza I've ever had in my whole life with this man. I think you were actually already gone by the time that he ordered the spicy pizza that he and I tore into.
Was it the meat sweats or? Oh no, it was the habanero one, wasn't it? The one with the habanero like sauce on it. I can't remember.
Yes.
I think it was the special of the month, and it was ridiculously hot. And I was like, nope.
No, not in Chicago, Slurp. This was pizza in Michigan at a little dive bar. That dive is not an insult. It's just a small hole in the wall. It's a hole in the wall bar, and it's super fucking rad.
You do have
it was really good. It was delightful. It was wonderful.
Chicago, Michigan, same thing.
I do love Chicago pizza, but
Chicago's the shit.
I love that deep dish shit, but like Slurp's New England, so he's all fucking New York floppy, soggy ass.
Whoa. Hey, I'm from the East Coast.
I know, but you don't live there anymore.
But that East Coast pizza is life. You got to fold it like a taco. There's a 3-finger grip you got to do. The one in the middle, 2 on the outside. You flip it over, you eat it like a taco. That's how you do it. I'm just saying.
No, I don't actually dislike New York pizza. I'm just giving Slurp a hard time. But I really like,
a good cheese pizza.
A good cheese pizza. I like margarita pizza a lot. I like a white pizza or like a margarita pizza are probably like some of my favorites. And like I'm about to commit like a cardinal sin, but I really like pineapple on pizza only if the sauce is barbecue sauce.
That's dope.
If there's barbecue sauce instead of like marinara sauce, like I'll tear that shit up. Slurp, I had the best margarita pizza ever in Rome. When I went to Rome, I had some badass margarita pizza.
That's where it originated.
But yeah, the pizza at Unruly that had the habanero sauce. Ooh.
Yeah. My boys over there know how to make up crazy pizza.
The spicy pizza was good shit.
They do a KFC Famous Bowl style pizza. So it's got like it's got that gravy on the bottom, a mashed potato layer, and then corn and like chicken poppers and stuff on it. And then they put like a ranch around it. Oh my God. So if you've never had mashed potatoes on pizza, you're missing out. It's so good. Heavy. Super heavy.
Hell yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah, no, Unruly was also a really cool venue. I really enjoyed hanging out there. I'm stoked to come back at some point for sure.
It's probably my favorite place in town, hands down.
I did want to wait, hold on, what's going on? Chat's blowing up right now. I gotta take a gander over at the chat. Slurp said, "What? This is the worst night of my life," and I have to know why. I don't understand what has happened.
Because you said the pineapple on the barbecue pizza.
But he said that after that, because he said, Slevin out here pretending that's okay. And then he said that I buried his uncultured ass because I said that I had really good margarita pizza in Rome. And then DK reacted to the barbecue thing. But now Slurp is saying something else.
Slurp's on some next level shit.
Yeah, I don't know what Slurp's ever doing, honestly. It's fine. It's fine. I like pineapple on pizza. Barbecue sauce is uncalled for. And someone likes mashed potato pizza. It's barbecue sauce instead of the pizza sauce, and it's really good. And when you come out here, Slurp, I will order the pizza that Angelia and I like, and you're gonna try it, and you're gonna like it.
And then you're gonna drive the 4 hours to come up and see me, and then I'll show you really good pizza.
Yeah, you gotta come see me, and then we will go see Slev.
Yeah,
and it'll be really good. It'll be good things. I'll fight everybody in that pizzeria. No, you won't.
No,
I'm not even gonna tell you everything that's on that pizza. I'm just gonna make you eat it, and that's gonna be that. And you're gonna like it, and that's gonna be the end of it. And then we will go up to see Slev next.
Damn, she just told you, bro.
I did. I'm in charge. I'm the fucking captain now. Fight me. I did. So you and I were talking about this a little bit before the stream, and this. Wait, hold up. What is this? I'm gonna drive slow past. Throw. Wait, what? Throw bottles of what at me? What?
KC masterpiece, the barbecue sauce.
Oh, I see.
I haven't heard KC
masterpiece in a long time. I'm hurt. I'm real hurt. He just said he's gonna drive past, throw bottles of barbecue sauce, and speed over to Slevin. Boy, fuck yeah! I'm not going to Florida. Fuck that.
Rip.
So you and I were talking about this beforehand, and I did want to kind of dive into it at some point. And we were just talking about COVID, so it feels like an appropriate time to dive in. You've been very vocal. You've been very vocal on social media about COVID and about some conspiracy theories. And so you and I started talking conspiracy theories just a tad bit before the stream.
We're going there now.
Let's do it. Let's just do it. Let's just get into it.
5G does not melt steel beams. Okay. All right. So basically what I'm saying
is that the argument? Because like I watched an hour-long video about this 5G shit, and that's the entire amount of like quote research that I have done on this. Is just this fucking video that Slurp found that I watched.
So a little backstory.
But that didn't talk about melting steel beams. It just talked about it causing COVID. So let's tell
Rolling
some stories.
It back, melting steel beams is a meme. Oh God, it sounds so bad to say, but it's a meme from 9/11.
Oh no!
So the running joke was jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. It wasn't a joke. It was actually a huge part of the conspiracy theory of how that 9/11 was an inside job and all this other fun stuff. And later on, science came around to find out that the jet fuel could be accelerated enough with other accelerants that were in the building to actually, in fact, soften said steel to make the building fall. Fast forward to 19 years later, here's the big COVID conspiracy that 5G is the trigger for this implanted virus that we've all got, and it's going to cause us all to get sick, and that's why all these towers are going up in these populated cities, even though the infection density is mirrored to the 5G deployment areas, because 5G is always deployed in larger cities, which are also always going to have a higher infection rate. That's the only correlation. It's not 5G doesn't cause, no, sorry. But it's just, no, it doesn't. It doesn't cause it. It doesn't trigger it. I used to be a truther, goddammit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the other thing you were talking about.
I knew every conspiracy around 9/11 there was. Like there was a theory that the Pennsylvania plane, the one that went down in Shanksville, was it Shanksville? In Pennsylvania, that had actually flown to Puerto Rico, dropped off the crew and all the passengers, and they're now in witness protection somewhere. And then they flew the plane back up on autopilot, mind you, and crashed the plane. That's why there were no bodies found and all this other fun stuff. And I'm just like, I look back at myself then, I was an asshole because I told everybody 9/11 was fake. It was an inside job.
Fake.
And as I grew older, because to be fair, there was a huge, if you've seen Die Hard 3, there is actually a huge gold depository in that area. And it was this big conspiracy that that there was a huge insurance policy that was taken out just a couple of months beforehand that specifically insured against plane attack, even though a plane attack had never happened in the entire history of the U.S. And the payout was billions of dollars for George Bush.
Why did I hear about this?
If you just look up loose change on YouTube, you will lose all of your life.
Oh my God.
Loose change. I would recommend Loose Change Special Edition. That's the best one. There's like 7 different ones because his theories kept changing. It's
Behaving Weirdly just said in the chat that he used to claim the moon landing was faked.
Yeah, and that too, I just don't understand that logic. Like the camera technology didn't even exist back then to do it.
Slurp said,
Okay,
"Don't forget
sorry.
about Zeitgeist."
Zeitgeist, yeah, Zeitgeist and Loose Change were the two huge conspiracy theorist bibles for 9/11.
I love
Ugh.
it. I wish I could remember more from the video that Slurp shared with me about the COVID stuff.
I
Like I
guarantee you
wish I could
anything that
remember
sounds
more about it.
outlandish in it, if you take 5 minutes on scholar.google.com and try to search for it, it'll be refuted or not mentioned at all. And if it's not mentioned on Google Scholar, it's not refutable evidence. It's not presentable evidence in any way, shape,
And
or
well,
form.
so I wish I could remember what some of it was, because there were some things that were said that were like good points, but that gave me questions. That was like, what is that? What? I don't know about that. But then the last like 10 to 15 minutes of this video were just so absurd and so cherry picked and so manipulated and warped that I was like,
And
okay, lady,
that's how they get you is
cool.
the fancy production value. Like Loose Change was well produced by like a college kid in New York or whatever. And like I was like, man, this looks really believable because like look how presentable it is. Oh my god,
Right.
it's they couldn't see the
Yeah,
plane
there
when it
was
hit.
no production value in this video whatsoever. It
Oh,
was just like some of the points that were made. I was like, that's interesting. I don't know how much I buy into it, but that's interesting and I'm curious. But then, yeah, like the last 15 minutes was just absolute utter nonsense and cherry picking, and was like, well, but look at the way that they said this thing. Look at what they're saying, and was like, oh, okay, you're about to hear him say this, and what he means is, and it's like, no, it's not.
it's
That's
all
absolutely
conjecture.
not what was
That's
meant.
all it is.
It is
And
all
it
projection. It's like, yeah, okay, okay, like, all right, lady. So like the entire last 15 minutes of the video can really just be thrown out.
yeah.
I don't really remember what. And yeah, Slurp said 60 hertz frequencies tampering with oxygen atoms or some shit. It was something to that effect that I was like, how does that work though?
That hurts my brain so much. Like
And well, because
I'm
my questions were like, well, if this is just this, then how are people testing things and coming out positive that way? And like, I did have some questions regarding it, but this was so long ago. This was like, I don't know
I
what,
probably haven't
end
watched
of,
Loose Change in
this was
over a
in
decade.
March, I think.
I got to go back and watch that once just to see how stupid I was to believe what was in it. Like, I think back to like all the people I talked to about it. I literally was Charlie with the board and the lines going,
Yes, I
conspiracy.
love it. Have
I
you,
was that guy.
so,
Or, aliens.
yeah, right, so you got the hair for the
I
aliens
got the hair. Oh
situation
shit.
right now.
I'm going nuts.
Did you during, or have you on Twitch encountered any people that are people who buy into this stuff? Or like online in your personal circle? Like, have you,
In my
is
personal
this
circle, oh my god, yes.
really?
In my personal friends list, uh the our governor is out to kill us all and take away all of our freedoms.
Oh
She
God, I see that, but I don't have any of those people
I've
in
got I've
my
got
circle. But
I've
I
got
see
all
that
I've
shit.
got all walks of life in my friends list, and there are just people out there that believe that COVID is a complete fake conspiracy, that it's not a real thing and it's not a threat. And then meanwhile, I'm keeping a running tally of the people I know who have either died or know people that have died. And these people don't see it because their circles are like, this big. And I've been networking for over a decade all across the country. So it's like I have all these other stories, and while a lot of it's anecdotal, there's a lot of science behind a lot of the stuff that's going on, especially death records. you know,
Right. Yeah. No. Exactly. Like that's the thing. And because there was recently something released for the Columbus Dispatcher here in Ohio that said I don't know if you saw it or not. I posted it on Facebook, but it was they released some of the letters that have been being sent to our governor,
mm-hmm.
and like I mean on a national level, our governor Mike DeWine has been seen as someone who's handling this very well and who
He's
is
been leading the charge.
doing
We're
yeah,
following
exactly. Let's
everything
say
he's doing.
Mike DeWine has been like the leader in like COVID containment efforts basically. Like he's been doing great, but they released some of the letters he's been receiving, and he has some that are saying like I really hope that you're not still planning on opening up the state at this time that was initially proposed. I don't think we're ready. Please don't open the state. But then he's also getting things that are like, how fucking dare you? My rights, and whatever. And like, we had a big bunch of fucking people gather outside the state house with guns and shit.
We just had our second rally here. We had people in the Capitol building with guns standing outside of the governor's office. Like, what?
Like, grow the fuck up.
I love guns. I love shooting. I love everything about them. I was raised around them. My grandfather was a cop for 25 years. Like, I was taught all about it, but I'm not Mr. America, give me my guns and freedoms and blah, blah, blah.
Right, like, I'm not anti-gun, but I am anti whatever the fuck they're doing.
They're brandishing their weapons, which is actually a crime.
Yeah, right. Like, calm your
in
fucking
the Capitol building,
titties, please.
Outside of her office. There's people actually protesting outside of her house with guns.
I heard that. Someone told, I think it might have been, I have a mod that also lives in Michigan, and I want to say he may be the one who told me about it. Blood Moon said, I'm not anti-gun, I'm anti-idiot. And I absolutely, a fucking man, my guy. I couldn't have put it better. Not anti-gun, I'm anti-dumbass, because that's what we're having a lot of.
Questions, only stupid people.
Yeah, we've got a lot of stupid people who think that they need to be able to talk right now, and I think that they should not. I today actually, I saw a Facebook Live post come across my. So I've recently been kind of liberal in my adding people or confirming Facebook ads.
Same.
No more of that.
I just added everybody in my queue.
I did that first. Okay, so I used to just add everyone, and then I stopped doing that because it was getting toxic. And then I recently was like, fuck it. And so I just started doing it again and was like, I'll just delete you if you fuck up. But I kind of have to. I'm about to go back on the like, nope, not unless you know me.
I've been very, very picky about who I accept friend requests from my entire time on social media.
Yeah.
People that have been on there longer than me have the maxed out friends count and all that fun stuff. I think I just broke 3,000 with that last push.
Oh, I only have like a few hundred because I'm like, nah, I'm about to turn. Yeah, I used to have my shit set so that like you could only even send me a friend request if we had a mutual friend.
Yeah, and mine's always on like that. That's always.
And I've recently turned that off, but I think I'm about to have to turn it back on, just from the nonsense. But this, unrelated to why I'm having to turn it off, but just another idiot that I had on my Facebook that I didn't know. I saw a Facebook Live post come across my feed, and it was somebody wearing a mask it was a black mask, and it said something in pink that looked like it was maybe written on it with like paint or something, like fabric paint. And I was like, oh, I want to see what it says. And so I clicked on it because first I thought it was a picture. So I clicked on it and was like, I want to see what his mask says. And then I realized that it was a Facebook Live video, and it was someone who is in New York protesting. And I was like, what is this protest about? And what they were chanting was something to the effect of, it's May, like, I don't remember what the chant was, but their point was, it's May 1st, and we can't pay rent because we've been out of work for more than a month. Rent needs to be suspended until further notice. Like, that was their issue, was they wanted rent suspended because they were out of work. And I was like, okay, that's not unreasonable. Or they were saying something about, like, I just know they kept saying, like, what do I want? Cancel rent. When do I want it now? But there was, like, a couple of different things they were saying, and their overall point was, it's May 1st and we can't pay. And we need you to, like, be understanding of that. But the dude who was filming, there was a girl walking in front of him holding a sign that said 5G and was, like, circled and X'd out, and then it said like wake up, and then it said there was some hashtag on it and I can't remember what it was.
Wake up, sheeple.
Oh my god, I hate that word. I hate it so much.
Gotta be woke.
I hate it. Bro. And I know that this got talked about on Blue's panel that you, Lisa, and Wes were on. I don't like any of those fucking words. Any of that shit. I don't want to hear sheeple. I don't want to hear simp. I don't want to hear incel. I don't want any of it. all y'all.
I want to see them all.
Shut the
Just,
fuck up. Like,
boy.
shut the fuck up. Like all of the, I hate all of those like buzzword terms that are like, well, I'm just gonna say this word to insult you because I don't have anything better to say. Simp has been ridiculous. Like if I ever, oh my god, if I never hear simp again, it'll be too soon. What'd you say?
Simp's the new white knight. That's all it is.
And I've always hated white knight. I hated the word white knight because I was like, all you're doing is discouraging men for standing up for women, and I don't think that's a good thing to do. I don't think there's any reason. White knight is an insult, yeah, blood moon, but like so is sheeple, so is simp, so is all of these things that I just said. They're all insults, and that's what I'm saying. Like
white knight as a compliment. I was like, yep, I am. Fuck off.
I hate when people say like, oh, you're just a white knight, because it's like, he's standing up for someone who's literally not doing anything wrong. And you're just pissed because you want to hate women more than anyone else, and you're pissed that your bro doesn't agree with you. Like, and you need to fucking calm the fuck down. And yeah, simp is just the new white knight, and I hate it for the same fucking reasons that I hated white knight. And it's toxic, and it's ignorant, and it's so fucking stupid. You can't talk to you cannot even speak to a woman without being called a simp or a white knight if you're a man. And I just think it's really shitty, and I think it's really gross, and it's like I'm sick of hearing it. It's like,
I didn't know that.
Did not know what?
White knight originally was an insult, implying that the person was in clean armor because they didn't see real combat, only helping because they expected favors back.
Ah, interesting. And because I mean, that is in essence what people are saying when they say white knight or simp, is they're saying like, you're only doing this because you think, and it's the same as like when they're like, she's not gonna sleep with you, bro, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like the essence of that remark is like, you're only helping her, you're only standing up for her because you think that you're gonna get something out of it from her and grow up. And it's like, if it was used actually in that way, then like that would be one thing. But people say it to every man who defends any woman ever, no matter the context, no matter like what the relationship is between the man and the woman, no matter what the thing that the men are being, or the woman is being attacked for, no matter how shitty those comments are that are being made, or like how completely unfounded they are. That is just like, it's all,
it's insecurity.
It makes me so mad. I can't stand the term, because it's just, they're like, oh well, I said that I called her a titty streamer, and you said, have a great stream, so you're a simp. That happened to me actually today. That I had in one of the groups that I'm in, I had posted something that was like, it was just like one of my going live posts. And I had some people comment on it. I had some men comment on it that were like, oh, have a great stream, or like, you're fantastic. Like, I had one guy say, you're amazing, and one guy say, I hope you had a great stream, and then said something about Oblivion, because that was the game that I was playing. And then the third comment was somebody saying, damn, Simpson chat. And I said, imagine unironically saying simp in 2020 because two guys told me to have a good stream.
Oh man.
Imagine.
No, most of my friend base is ladies. I almost said females. I got to get that. That's one of those things.
Yeah, none of that. We are women.
Women, ladies. But I've always been seen as that, like, oh, they're not going to sleep with you. But it's like, I've been in a relationship for 10 years. Like, I don't get.
Right, like, you're not trying to get anybody to sleep with you. I love my absolute favorite thing, like, more than anything, is when I'm in a relationship and my boyfriend defends me, and he gets she's not going to sleep with you, bro. And I'm like, actually, I might. Like,
see, what had happened was,
like, well, you see, I did, and I probably will again. Like,
because I liked it.
It
And
was
so did me.
nice. Like,
Vicky Valancourt showed me her boobies, and I like those too. And that's the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.
oh my god. Yeah, no, that's my absolute favorite part of those interactions is when I have a significant other defend me and they get hit with the she's not gonna sleep with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I am gonna sleep with him.
My favorite part when I was managing the nightclub downtown that used to be here, we had go-go girls. And they weren't strippers. They were go-go girls. They were just up there in like bikinis and boots and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And guys would harass them constantly.
Oh, for sure.
And I was just a manager. I wasn't like a bouncer or anything like that, but I have a bouncer background. And I'd walk up to him and be like, "Look, you need to stop touching them." She's not going to sleep with you, bro. No, she's not.
Yeah, she's not. She's not gonna sleep with me. She's not gonna sleep with you. She ain't gonna sleep with anybody here.
Like, you could leave.
No touchy.
Or you can buy her a drink. I mean, that's about it. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, right. Like, you can keep your hands to your goddamn self. Your hands and your words to your fucking self. Oh my
dude.
gosh.
Yeah. Blood was brought up. I'll never forget. 23 years ago, he moved from New York to Texas. Called a lady abroad because I was raised around that kind of language. Got my ass beat by 6 guys.
Hot damn.
Yeah, broad's one of those words that died like 50 years ago.
Hot damn. Yeah, no, for sure. It's it is definitely a distinct cultural difference, and it's something about the evolving language, and that's something that I think Anita and I spoke about it a little bit in the last episode about how people of a certain generation or who are grow up in a certain region or any of that kind of stuff, like you're stuck in your ways and this is what you know, and it's like if you're not ready to evolve and change with the times, then like maybe you will get your ass beat by 6 men because you don't know how to respectfully speak to a woman.
Exactly.
Like, that's how it works.
Hey, Joe, what's up, buddy?
You
just actually got a pretty good question there. What do you think about Canada did today with the guns?
What did they do today with the guns? I actually don't know.
They announced an immediate ban on military grade assault weapons. So basically what we all, like here in Michigan, we just go out back, in Ohio too, go out back and just shoot. Like, a lot of guns are now just banned. Honestly, man, like, it's another country. It doesn't affect me. Honestly, I feel like something along those lines, some kind of control should be made in order to help reduce whatever's going on. Like, we haven't had a shooting all year.
Yeah.
Because everybody's at home inside there. That's the saddest statistic right there. Is there hasn't been.
And I mean that's the thing is we haven't had a shooting, but I don't think that we haven't had a shooting because people have been inside. You know what I mean? It's because it's a human thing. That's not necessarily a gun related issue directly. As to like, I mean the shootings sure are a gun related issue, but I mean like the matter of we haven't had a shooting doesn't necessarily have anything to do with gun availability. It has to do with the fact that
I can still argue
humans are not places.
Yeah, I can still argue the other side though, like banning assault weapons or banning ARs or whatever you want to call them, machine guns. There's still going to be a black market for them. They're still going to pop up, and it's going to be less regulated and blah blah. I know all the arguments and all the sides. I don't know how to fix it. If that's what I think Trudeau is still the PM, right? Trudeau, whatever.
I believe it's Trudeau. Yes.
Because they didn't get
Justin
discount
Trudeau.
Yeah, Britain did. Whatever he feels he needs to do, like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, he'll go down as one of the worst PMs in Canadian history. And he's actually been a good PM. He's been a fantastic PM. But if I feel like if Trump had did something similar, he would still be praised for it by every single gun-toting redneck.
Which is so weird. Do you really think so?
I really do. I feel like they would be so high on their own pedestal, worshiping their Cheeto god. Like,
interesting.
The man can do no wrong. I mean, he literally said on national TV to inject disinfectants, and people were defending him.
Yeah, I did see people defending that. But I mean, like, if there is a law that is passed that is blatantly against what his party believes in, you don't think that there would be backlash for that?
I feel like there would be a little bit of backlash, but I mean, they blindly follow that man through everything. When I started seeing them defend him when he said inject disinfectants, I was just like, oh, really?
I really like the videos
any day of the week.
I really like the videos of like where reporters and stuff will go out and do like just like a street interview with people at rallies and say like, well, what if this was happening? Would you feel that this was wrong or a problem, or would you like, so why do you believe them? And they're like, oh, because of this. And it's like, okay, well, but what if this was the situation? How would you feel about that? And they're like, oh yeah, well, that would be a different situation. Yeah, of course I wouldn't believe that, or of course I wouldn't be happy with that, but that's not what's going on. And he's like, okay, well, what if I told you that that is what's going on? And they were like, I don't care. Like, that's my favorite.
I avoid those street interviews as much as I can.
Oh, I think they're so funny.
I don't want to lose faith in humanity.
I just think they're so funny. Oh my God, I love it. I'm not convinced he said that, or at least meant it. The man is 11 out of 10 not well spoken. I mean, I agree that he was not well spoken. And so from what I saw, Slurp. Oh no, all good. So from Slurp, what I saw, it sounds like there was some sort of conversation going on, and he said something that he more or less did say, like, well, what if we just put disinfectant in people? He was not implying that humans on their own time at home do it, but the way that he said it did make it sound that way, and that was the not well-spoken part. But it does seem like he was legitimately suggesting that medical professionals look into the viability of injecting people with some sort of disinfectant.
And before anybody says it, like, he was just discussing ideas or whatever. That's not something you do on a public stage like that. You have those brainstorming sessions in private.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, none of the previous presidents in history would have said anything even remotely that insane while addressing the nation.
No.
Even if it was taking questions from, you just don't do that. You are held to like this certain agenda of what you're going to be talking about and stuff like that, and you go with it, because if you slip up, you're the laughing stock.
Absolutely.
I could probably look up right now like 3 times Obama said something sort of weird and got blasted for it for months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's this double standard that's just annoying.
Yeah, I just hate politics. And like, you just hate politics.
But I'll talk about them all fucking day.
Yeah. I don't know if I would say I hate politics. I hate the current state of American politics. I hate where we're at right now in American politics. I hate the very heavy air around politics right now. I hate Trump. There's a lot of things about politics that I very much dislike, but I don't know if I would say that I hate politics. I hate the federal government. I hate the entire federal government, but like,
it's fair.
I don't know if I would say I hate politics, because like I will have those conversations. I enjoy those conversations. I think there's a lot to learn. I think there's a lot that can go right. And also politics are kind of a necessary part of a functioning society. There's going to be some sort of politics, whether it be on a federal level or whether it be just like the politics of Twitch has politics, like, I mean,
right.
not just like the politics category. I mean, like there is politics of like things that are happening with partners who don't get scolded for animal abuse, don't even get a slap on the wrist for animal abuse, while then finally catching some heat for very accidental nudity. So I mean, like, there's definitely politics within even this platform. There's politics in every community and in everything.
No, you're not wrong.
I think politics is such a broad topic that it's hard for me to say like, oh, I hate politics.
I just hate talking red versus blue. It's just, unless it's that amazing internet cartoon show that was fantastic.
That is why I'm so excited about what I'm getting to do coming up. Because I will be doing an interview with a Green Party politician who is running for senator, and I'll be speaking with a libertarian candidate for presidency, and I'm so stoked that I get to do those things. And
I'm excited for that latter one.
I am too. He's a very interesting person.
A little bit you told me before the stream.
I was gonna say, without giving away too much information before that stream comes, he is a very interesting person. He's got a very interesting background. I definitely advise anyone to do your research into Adam Kokesh. He's got an interesting background with. There's a lot of activism. There's a lot of he's got a lot of passion. He's got some really big, interesting ideas, which he and I are going to dive into how, like, what obstacles he expects to run into and how he plans to maybe carry some of that out, because it is a bit ridiculous. Or I shouldn't say ridiculous, but it's a bit
Over the top.
extreme. It's extreme. It's very severely in that direction. He's got some very big plans. So that'll be something that is definitely talked about. I'm really excited to give a little, spread a little bit more of a voice to some third party candidates, because I agree with you. I am sick of talking red versus blue. Yep. I am. My candidate in the last election was Gary Johnson. I voted for Gary Johnson, and I loved his he had this goofiest campaign slogan that said, "Why have the left nut or the right nut when you can have the Johnson?" And I thought that was the funniest fucking thing, and I loved it so goddamn much.
It was so brilliant.
Oh my god, he was so good. I loved Gary. He said, "Way less ridiculous than granting the government control over every aspect of human life." Big agree, Slayer. But when I say it, that's why I took that back. It's not so much ridiculous as it is very extreme in a direction that we have not seen. Very extreme in a very new direction, something that people may be hesitant to latch onto, and I'm excited to dive into that a little bit more.
I'm actually really excited to catch those streams.
Yeah, I hope you're able to, because I know that my next 3 Grovelores will be going on while you are just getting off work.
Well, that's what mods are for, thankfully. And also checking out your streams on Spotify and hopefully Apple Music one of these days, right?
Hell yeah. Yeah, I submitted it. So I just submitted it to Spotify and Apple Music today. Spotify took it right away. I said it might take a week to approve, but it went through instantly. Apple Music said it might take 2 weeks, so I am waiting to hear back about that. But whatever. You'll see the things when you see the things. There were some other things that I wanted to ask you about, some content creation stuff, but I would have to cycle back, and I'm trying to decide if it's worth to cycle back or carry on, but I don't know if I have much more to talk about. Huh?
This is your carriage. I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah, so I skipped over some things, and I'm like, wait, I wanted to say more things. And then we got real tied up in politics and conspiracy theories because I decided it was time. I mean, don't you shrug. It was my fault. I said, it's time. I want to do it. After we started talking about conspiracies a little bit ahead of time or beforehand, I was like, ooh, I want to do that. So I got ahead of myself. But to kind of cycle back to some of the content creation stuff, I asked you what your biggest, I had 3 big questions I wanted to ask you, and I only asked you one of them, which was, what was your biggest challenge in your streaming journey? What do you feel has been the greatest, or some of the greatest opportunities, S in parentheses, that have been presented to you through streaming and TSAN?
Honestly, I've been sponsored by a couple of brands, but that was also through a third-party sponsoring company, which was great. They shut down, unfortunately, just because it wasn't a realistic model to hold up. My biggest opportunities have been being able to be at the forefront of a large group like TSAN. Yeah. It's really, really great to be a voice and a leader in our community. I say leader because I'm following just as much as everybody else is. But I only I regurgitate what I learn as fast as I can, just so I can help people out. Because when I first started this journey, it was a lot of stuff was just hidden behind paywalls or just behind stream coaches, which I'm not putting down stream coaches like Ashley Christ and Gothics and all those people that were and Harris Heller putting in time to teach us stuff. Fantastic people.
Does Gothics do stream coaching?
She used to. I don't know if she still does. I know after her last week, she stopped doing it. And then Lisa was doing Ivory. She was doing stream coaching for a while through our Patreon, which is just huge because those are things that you don't always get honest feedback from your friends. Mm-hmm. And when somebody asks me for feedback in TSAN, I give it to them bluntly. Recent example, there's a newer member in our group, and I had put him on post approval, deleted his post, and he messaged me. He's like, "What the hell, man?" And I was like, well, here's the things I typed him a book because he wanted some feedback on why I deleted it and what he thinks he can do to improve. I typed him probably 6 or 7 paragraphs. And if you know my paragraphs, they're large on what I would change,
write like I write,
do, and how you should change your advertising. And he took none of it.
Yeah.
And what is What sucks is it doesn't suck. It's good for him. He's still seeing some decent growth. But I'm just wondering how sustainable that is because he's basically just regurgitating the same thing over and over every time he goes live. That's just
Right.
one of those examples. But on the other side, I've helped people, figure out the most advanced things for the stream that they thought were just so hard. And it was like the other day, I just helped somebody that I just learned. I just learned how to do my capture card because I just got one, and how to get it fed back properly through my headphones and all that fun stuff because Wes had helped me out a lot. And I told him exactly what I did, and he says, "Oh my god, dude, I've been fighting this for 3 days, and you just in 2 minutes helped me fix it like that, and it sounds fantastic." I was like, "That's what this group is for. That's what it is, like free knowledge." And I'm happy. That's my biggest opportunity, is to help other people. If they surpass me and fly past me, I don't care. I'm
Yeah,
proud of them for doing
for
that.
sure. Um, what do you think that some of that hang up is about, like, the defensiveness with the advice that is given? Because, okay, so that's something that I run into a lot is, and I'm not even like a big anybody, but sometimes I will pat myself on the back and say that one thing that I do right is my going live posts are fucking banging. Like, I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
damn well that I make very good going live posts. I'm like good at the marketing part of things. That I know.
Anytime somebody's like, "What
Um,
should I do?" I'm like, "Here's our vlog, or here's our blog on it, and look at Sierra's posts."
yeah,
Just
like
a
I was gonna say, that is one thing that I know that I do right is my going live posts.
oh, excuse me.
And so people will occasionally, it doesn't happen all the time, but from time to time people will be in my Facebook Messenger DMs and be like, "Hey, could you like look at my stuff and tell me, like, I'm not seeing any growth, but I see you growing pretty well and you write a shit ton of stuff. Can you like just look over my things? Do you have time?" And I'll always do it. Maybe not right in that moment, but I always am like, "Yeah, give me your link, and within the next couple of days, I will look at it. I'll look at your
Yep.
streams. I'll look you up in the Facebook groups. Tell me which groups you're in. I'll check you out. I'll see what's going on, and I'll tell you what's up."
You're saying,
And like, and I am same as you. I'll write these like paragraphs and like big long paragraphs where I'm like, "Okay, here's what's wrong with your advertising. Here's what I would change about that. Here's the reasons why I would change it. Here's the
yep,
benefits of that. Here is, I looked at one of your VODs. I watched this much of it and I kind of skimmed through the rest of it. I saw a bunch of this. I think that it's really important that you know that the reason people watch Twitch is because of this. So you should maybe try to implement some of that." And like, I give them like a whole breakdown. And I'm not the best about giving the technical stuff and being like, "Oh, well," like I can say like, "Oh, well, your mic quality is not great. I don't know how to fix it, but there's lots of people who can help you. I'm not one of them, but the mic quality needs improved."
fuck, I
But
spent
I
3 hours
can,
tonight with Wes, like dialing in his new hardware.
yeah, and like,
Like,
I mean, I never really know what's up, but I'm always like, there's people in the group that will help you if you just reach out and are like, "Hey, my mic quality is an issue right now. Is there anyone who can help me who has some time?" And someone will
yep,
get in a Discord call with you. Someone will work through a test stream with you, and you can work it out. But
yep,
I always tell people, here's all the things that are hesitant for me about like things that would make me not necessarily want to stick around or follow or sub or whatever. Here's what is keeping me from doing these things.
hmm
And I'm met with excuses. And I'm like, "You asked."
yeah.
And then it's
Well,
never
this is
like,
why
"Oh,
I
you're
don't.
right." They're like, "Oh, well, I don't because of da da da." Or like, "Oh,
Yeah,
well, but this is different." And I'm like, "It's not though." Like,
and this is stupid. That's my favorite. That's a stupid reason. Why should I have to type out who I am every time? Because that's an opportunity to explain to people like
to
five
new
times, 500
people.
times. Like, just it's irritating. But when those
But what
people
do you
do
think
crash
the
on
reason
it,
for that is? Like, why do you think people get so defensive like that when, especially when they'll even ask for advice and be like, "No," but I
I
don't accept that.
they don't because they're still in the mindset that streaming is easy.
Mm,
If streaming was easy, I would have been partner a year ago. You know,
yeah,
it's a lot of work. It's a lot of staying at a certain level while you're streaming. It's mostly marketing, and I don't like the term networking anymore. Like a lot of people don't, because there are tons of streamers out there that start with nothing and become big without having to do the hangout and streams and all that fun stuff. If you're only hanging out in other people's streams to make a name for yourself, you're doing it wrong. Like
absolutely.
that's the biggest pain in the ass. Like don't waste your time going in and hanging out in other people's streams if all you want to do is just try to get noticed by their viewers, because
Yeah,
all that's going to happen is when you go live, you're going to have them for 5 minutes until X other streamer goes live that you stole them from or whatever. that's not a way to grow.
And I mean, that's my thing is like I used to try and be in as many streams as I could, make sure people like I would be like, hey, I'm lurking, and it was never like, well, I want you to return the favor, but I just wanted people
Yeah.
to know that like I was there and that I was supporting them, that I was giving them love. But then I realized that like that's not that people get that everyone has lives.
Yeah.
The only people who I really watch like regularly is I watch Slurp every time he's live. I'm in his chat. I try to be in yours as often as I can.
Which I appreciate a lot.
I watch Dylan KG.
Who's my
And
name?
everyone else I watch sporadically. You know what I mean? Like I'll sometimes like have a minute and pop in on Nick Omega, or I'll have a minute and I'll watch my friend Cheshire Cat for a while or whatever. But like you, Dylan, and Slurp are really the only people who I like consistently try to be there for. I don't have enough hours in the day to like
No,
watch
100%.
everybody. You know what I mean? So like I've got
I
my
only
like
watch big
3
streamers.
to 5 core people that I'm like, I want to watch these people as often as I can possibly watch them.
I just found a new Final Fantasy streamer that I'm actually into. She's actually from my area, but she lives in LA now.
Oh, awesome.
She just got rated by the voice actress who plays Aerith.
Yeah, I was in the stream when you were talking about her.
Yeah, and her community just exploded, and she's like averaging like 300 to 500 people now, and it's
That's
so
great.
cool.
That's so cool.
Streamer.
I love
So
that.
I love her, and I still don't hang out in her stream that often. It's like I was there for the raid, I dropped some subs, and I was like, okay, I've got to go to bed because it's so
Right.
late.
I got shit to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was saying I feel bad that I can't always catch you for as long as I would like because
You always stream during the
sometimes
day,
your
so I can never
stream,
catch-
huh?
You always stream during the day.
I
so
know,
can
like
never-
I try to catch yours as often as I can, but sometimes like your streams will overlap with Slurps and I'm still in his, so I don't get there until a little bit later, or then like I'll be there and then I'm on the phone, or I'll be there again and then I'm like, okay, well now I'm really tired, I have to go to bed before you're over, and so I feel bad that I'm very in and out in your streams,
Fine.
but you are part of my like core group of people that I try to make sure that I catch as often as I can. But it's so funny that because we're talking about, you know, the people who like and who you're supporting and everything. I had one stream because I had so many people asking me so many like questions about growth and about streamer etiquette and about all this stuff. So I decided a while ago that I was going to do a stream where I was going to talk about etiquette and like the unspoken rules of Twitch and things like that.
Oh, you're gonna make the unspoken rules spoken.
Yes.
You rule breaker.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. And so we had a conversation about like some growth things, just like some generic growth stuff about like what you should be doing. I talked about the Facebook posts and about like if you aren't putting a picture, even if it's a meme, it doesn't even have to be a selfie. Take a picture of your setup, picture of the game, a meme, whatever. If you aren't adding a photo, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And like we talked about that. Talked about what kind of content should be in your going live posts. We talked about and then we talked about like in stream some things that you do and don't do. Talked about how, you know, like you don't talk about, oh well, I'm just here for like a couple minutes and then I'm gonna go stream, and like how that's not really, it's always just like, yeah, oh fucking okay, then go do it. Like you don't need to tell me. It's not appropriate unless it's someone who's like who you're close with. You know what I mean? Like if you were in my stream and you were like, "Hey, my stream starts in 5 minutes, so I got to dip," I'd be like, "Sick, have a fantastic stream, Slev. I will see you later tonight." Because you're like someone I know. But if I don't know you, like, don't fucking come in here and be like, "Hey, I'm here for an hour and I'm gonna stream." And it's like, all right, good, you do that. You have fun with that.
I wouldn't want those
Me
viewers.
neither.
If anybody did follow me like that, it's like, it's just no.
Right, it's cringy, it's no bueno. But I had a guy in my stream during that who he had been in my community for a week or two, probably a little bit longer than that, maybe not 4 weeks, that's too long. I read Shiny said this is a lurk for lurk podcast, and so I said 4 because I saw Shiny's 4. Shiny, you're throwing me off. But he'd been in my community for probably 2-3 weeks, I would say. And some of you that are in the chat right now might actually remember this situation because it was a whole ordeal. Because we talked, and then I went into, and then I started playing Zelda. And one of the things he said was, "So what do you think if I've been following a streamer for a few weeks and I show up to every single one of that streamer's streams and they have not even dropped me a follow or popped in on my stream? Should I unfollow them?" And I said, nah, if you are following someone, just to get a follow back, that's disingenuous. That's toxic, and that's not a real way to grow. You don't fucking do that.
Is that what Blood was referencing earlier?
Oh, I don't know. What did Blood say?
He said, name dropping a large streamer, quote, I followed Solo Recton only. Why doesn't he come watch my stream?
Well, oh, no, I'm sure not.
1.5 million followers.
No, but I had, this dude was just like, well, this person doesn't follow me back. So if they don't follow me back, should I unfollow them? And I was like, no, you shouldn't follow someone because you want to follow back. You should follow someone because you're like interested in their stream. And they were like, okay, well, bye then. And it was so funny because I didn't like, I was like, I knew they were probably talking about me, but I wasn't sure. And then he was like, okay, well, bye then. And I didn't know how to respond. And Slurp, I don't know if he was not there for the whole time and didn't understand what was going on, or if he was just handling it very well. I don't even think he was a mod yet. He might have been. I don't know. But when he was like, okay, bye, then Slurp was like, all right, bye, have a great day. Like, he was just like, have a good one. I was like, okay.
Like, I follow Tim the Tatman. Why doesn't he follow me?
Right? Like, it's ridiculous. And I was just like, okay, homie. And that dude came back, I think maybe 2 or 3 different times during my stream and popped back in again and was like, I just think that it's ridiculous that you preach support and growth and caring about people and that you don't even follow me back. And I'm like, dude, who the fuck are you? Go away. Leave. If I recall, I knew exactly what was going on. You might have, Slurp. I don't, and well, because like he was like, okay, bye, I guess, and then Slurp was like, all right, have a good one, and then he said, JK, I'm here, and Slurp was like, oh, well, welcome back, welcome back, Bulldogs, and then he fucking this dude then in like one of the. So TSAN is the second largest Facebook group I'm in. The largest one is the Twitch.tv streamers that has like 50K people in it. Yeah, something like that. A post I made on there the next day, he commented on and was like, I'm sorry, I just can't support this streamer because she doesn't follow me back and and all this shit. And like, I was just like, you've got to be kidding me.
Blood. Yeah, exactly. Why doesn't Trump know who I am?
Why doesn't the president know me by name and face? I mean, I know I've spoken to him one time, 2 words, but I always watch ambiguously and anonymously when he talks. Sorry, go ahead.
Good point. Yeah, Slurp makes a good point with his. Honestly, I feel like a lot of the etiquette breaches are more so due to ignorance. And yeah, it is because.
And I agree.
I'm guilty of it when I first started out. Like, I'm going to go stream or whatever. And I thought it was innocent. And luckily, I had Biff there to guide me because he has very strict no advertising. Like, the only time you can talk about your stream really is when if you raid him or, something along those lines. But, like, don't
when
be like,
he asks.
I'm going to be, when he talks about you streaming, then talk about it, which is kind of something I've sort of adopted. But I also, in my stream, if you talk about your stream, I don't care. I want to see you grow. I want to see you be better. But don't expect to entice my audience by talking about you going to stream because they're not there for you.
Right.
They're looking at my channel, hanging out, they're there for me.
And see, because my rules about it are very much like, I don't really need you to come in here and tell me that you're going to be live in 5 minutes. Like, I don't want that. But if you want to come in and you want to tell me that, like, oh, well, guess what? Tomorrow, this really cool thing is happening. Then, like, fuck yeah. Tell me about your cool shit that's happening tomorrow. Like, I'm down for y'all to talk about your streams and stuff, but don't be like, hey, I'm going to be live at the same time as you, and I need everyone to be aware of it right now. Like, it's the way that you talk about it, and it's like, also, again, if I know, so Slurp the other day, fucking, okay, this is the dumbest shit, and, like, I'm sorry, Slurp, I just called you dumb shit. Yesterday, Slurp did an impromptu stream at 10 o'clock in the morning, and he streamed from 10 until 2. He knew that I was streaming at 2. So he streamed from 10 till 2 to then raid me at 2. And then I streamed from 2 until 6, knowing that he was going to be streaming at 6. And then he left my stream at like 5:50 and was like, all right, I got to go do some shit. I got some things to take care of. I got to go.
You got to go do
and it's thing. Like, dude, you're my raid target. We know where you're going. Like, we're just bouncing people back and forth. You don't have to be secret. It's not a secret. You don't have to, because that's like verbiage that I sometimes use. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm not streaming, I oftentimes will be like, all right, I'm working on videos, or you know what I mean? But if I am about to go stream, then I oftentimes will be like, I'm gonna go do some things. I've got to go take care of some stuff or whatever.
Me
It's like,
and West thing.
and then he did that. It's called being polite. Yeah, okay, whatever. And you left and were like,
the Discord I just created a little while ago is totally not for Twitch at all. It's called the social distance in parentheses cord. So like me and Wes kind of came up with this thing, like we're gonna go do the thing. And like tonight when we started this, he's like, "Oh, look, you're doing the thing." So it's no way, and we don't use that in that Discord as a way of advertising that we're going live. Like I have a pretty strict rule. That Discord's just for like hanging out, meeting people, and just trying to be social during the thing. Yeah. Not the flu thing, but the disease thing. Mm-hmm. But the flu thing or whatever the fuck it's called. What is it? It's a disease, right? Disease? Is that? Yeah, what? Disease. What's it called?
COVID? Yeah, that's what the D stands for, I think. Is it not?
Yeah. I'm smart today.
Is it not? Maybe it's not. It's a virus.
Yeah.
It's
so during
COVID is coronavirus disease, is it not?
Infectious disease. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
yeah.
Yeah. So that's our thing. Is the thing.
The thing. No, I dig it.
I promise we will snug soon.
Yeah,
okay?
and I mean, I oftentimes will ask people about like, oh, so what? How's the stream been? What's going on? Whatever. But I mean, some people do it more than others and are very like, hey, so how's the stream? I feel weird talking about my stream. It's been very recent that I've gotten over being allowed to talk about my stream when I'm asked.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes people will be like, how's the stream been? Oh, hey, I know you've got stuff coming up. Talk about your things that are coming up. And I'm like, are you sure? Am I allowed? Am I allowed? Are you sure? Is this a trap? Like, what are we doing? God, I'm bouncing all over the place. I've been like, I'm just like remembering off the cuff like all these things that I'm like wanting to ask you about, and so actually let me write that down so that I can come back to it later.
Remember when Slurp was like, "Hey, how do you do this without a plan?"
Yeah, and he was like, "Well, wait, so what's it about? How's this gonna go?" And I was like, "It's gonna go the way that I would like it to go."
She's Lady Joe Rogan without the DMT.
Exactly. Calling you out, Slurp. What was just happening? Oh, right. Okay. So we were talking about, this has all come up from me asking you what some of your greatest opportunities have been through streaming. I wanted to ask you also, what are some of the most, because I'm sure you have some good ones. What are some of the most absurd, ridiculous interactions that you have had in your time on Twitch, whether it be on your stream or in TSAN? Because I'm sure you have had some characters.
It's like my girlfriend asking me how my day or like what happened at work. It's like it's the routine thing. It just happens. So like my brain just stores it all.
Where do I start?
Ridiculous things. The self-promotion thing is just ridiculous. Like people that just literally only come in just
drop your link in a fucking like on live, or drop the link on a Facebook post, and it's like,
and then
go home, you lazy.
We touch base on like you and Delaney doing like, you know, your risque posts or just showing some boob, like some like, and just the reaction that men have. And then recently we've had these one or two jokers in our group, gentlemen, as they want to present themselves as, making a mockery of you guys.
Yes, I've seen that. Yeah. The guys that post like in their underwear, like covering themselves up with game discs and stuff. I can't tell if they're sometimes depending on the demeanor, I'm just, maybe it's because I want to give people the benefit of the doubt and I want to see good in people. Sometimes I can't tell if it's really making a mockery or if they're just like, this is a thing that is talked about in here all the time. I'm just going to make a silly post about it. Like, I can't ever tell if it's malicious or not.
One of them we've kind of deemed he's sort of being malicious. We had to like delete 3 of his posts in one day because he kept changing them, but he was still violating TOS, like literally just because he was using suggestive things. And we're like, look, dude, you just can't do this. And I think one of the other mods had to message him, and I haven't seen him post in a while, so I don't know if he's still around. The other one, he's kind of recycling his images, and he's being lighthearted about it. The other guy, I think, was really being directly malicious, and I wasn't really happy about it because it's when that happens, the comment section turns malicious.
Yes.
And I think it's literally the most literally that's probably the most ridiculous stuff I've seen. Other than the backlash against you guys. You know what I mean?
God, I've gotten some ridiculous shit, man. I remember
how angry people can get. It's over boobs.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yes.
Who do you have boobs?
Like, what do you have against my titties? Why are you mad at them? They're nice, they're good, they're not hurting anybody, they're just existing, they're just being here.
They're just there.
They're not hurting nobody.
Boobs.
They're not infringing on anything that anyone's doing. Let them be. Leave them alone. Yes. Leave my titties alone. But I remember a while ago when I'm trying to think of how long ago this would have had to have been. Oh wait, hold up. You remember the other day we got yelled at? Bioptic, you're the one. Oh my God, I wanted to talk about that post. So there was I didn't realize that was you. Okay. So there was a post in the big Facebook group, like the real big one, where this girl posted something. She didn't have any panels. She had not a very large following. It seemed like she was new to streaming. And she posted something saying, if I get this number of followers and this number of donations, I will dye some of my hair blue.
I remember hearing about this.
And everybody just ripped her to shreds. They were so nasty about it. And they were like, LOL, you're being ridiculous. Like, you're not even offering that big of a thing. And, like, you shouldn't be asking for donations. And this was one thing I wanted to touch base on, which I'll just put it out here and then come back to it in a minute, was one guy said, wow, you're asking for donations when COVID's a thing. I'm literally telling people not to or subscribe to me right now, but okay, do what you want to do. And I'm like, okay, virtue signal harder. But right. So it was a mess. It was a shit show. And then this other guy posted a little bit later in the same fucking group. And it was a picture of him with dark hair and a picture of him with bright blonde hair. And he said, I told my community that if we hit a certain donation goal, I would dye my hair. I have reached that goal. So here is me with my blonde hair. We're still voting on the color or something like that. What do you guys think? And everyone just praised him and was like, oh, good. I'm glad you got there. That's awesome. Haha, whatever. And I was like,
because gender roles are not a thing, remember?
And I was like, hey, same energy. And then, Bioptic came in, and because I had made a post and was like, wow, y'all were real hateful on that other post where that girl was talking about goals and an incentive being that she was going to dye her hair. So where's that energy here? Edit. I don't think this guy deserves hate for doing this. I just also don't think she deserves hate. And you guys, like, were at her throat, but are all supportive of this. So, like, where's the energy around that? And people were making excuses and were like, well, it's not the same because she was begging for donations. I was like, she wasn't asking. She just said these are her goals. And if she hits them, she's going to do a thing. And then Bioptic came in and was like, I really fail to see the difference between these two posts other than one of them is like, this is an ongoing goal. And one of them is, this is a goal I achieved. And you guys are coming at it with nonsense.
People are dumb.
And so it ended up being Bioptic and I versus, that group. And then my post got removed for being controversial, or my comment got removed for being controversial when I said, like, where the fuck is this hate from the other post right now? Or where is this support on this post over there? What the hell's going on? And then the comment got removed. Because they were like, this is too controversial because I called him out. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. I see you.
Yep.
I see you.
Yep.
Got you. Okay. Like, it was ridiculous. But I did want to ask you what your thoughts are on that, because we touched on it a little bit when I said that, like, I go back and forth with this. Like, I don't want anyone to think that I am saying, oh, well, people should this, that, whatever. Like, I would never tell anyone that they should feel obligated to any of that, like, donate, sub, any of that stuff. I have none of that. That's not a thing that I do. But this is my full-time job. This has been my full-time job since the summer, since well before COVID. This has been my full-time job. This is my rent. So I was stressed out about the COVID stuff.
Yeah, you should be.
And so while I am not asking for donations, I am not discouraging donations or subs, because that's my rent. I'm not out here saying, like, oh, no, keep it, don't do that. Like, I am very, like, what are you doing? That's wild. That's so much. What's going on? Like, every time that someone gives me any kind of amount of anything, because I'm humbled by it. But I don't tell people to not monetarily support me, because if you don't monetarily support me, your girl starves. So I just kind of, like, say my thank yous. Oftentimes I cry because I am very emotional, and then that's that. And then, that guy was not the first instance of that kind of virtue signaling that I have seen, where they're like, oh, well, we're in pandemic, I'm telling people not to sub to me, but okay. Like,
it doesn't matter if you tell somebody to sub to you or not. They're going to do it or they're not going to do it.
yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing. It's, you can remind people, like, hey, this is a thing you can do, but I can't force you to sub to me. I can't force you to give me money. When I first started this, I mean, I'm not handsome. I'm not this pretty. I'm not.
Yes,
like,
you are. You're very handsome.
Just stop holding the points. I was always picked on in high school. I was always the outcast, the whole nine. And, you know, over the last 10 years, I've kind of gotten my confidence as far as at least being a personality and being a public. I was an MC for a club for a long time. I was the guy on stage getting people hype. You would have told me I was doing that 15 years ago. If you would have told 16-year-old me I would have done that, I would have laughed at you 100%. But to have been doing this for almost 2 years now and consistently get, and this is a flex, and I'm sorry, actually I'm not, to be able to consistently get payouts every month that I'm streaming, whether they're $100 or they're $500 or they're $200, is mind-blowing to me, that people will give me their money just because they like what I'm doing. And that's playing video games or sitting and talking to people.
Hell yeah.
That's crazy to 15-year-old me.
Wild.
And 15-year-old me knew, like, 2 meg down cable, but streaming wasn't even a thing when I was that young at all. Like, YouTube was just barely a glimmer. Like, Yahoo Music was still a thing. They had it was like saying MTV used to play music videos.
Showing your age.
Yeah. So, like, picking this up at what, 32? Because I'm 30. I'll be 35 this year. So at like 31, 32, I picked this up, thinking I'm going to give it a whirl, and having not only the people I know support me, and now strangers on the internet who have become friends and family. It's just a weird thing. So when you say, hey, I'm not telling people to, you don't have to, because they're either going to or they're not going to. Some people have advantages in some ways, and I will be the first person to say sex sells 110%. Sure. It always has, it always will. And if you're using your boobs to get views, or you're using your good jawline, or your soothing voice, or whatever, like Ivory, she's fan-freaking-tastic at ASMR, and she kills it doing that.
Yeah.
Not my cuppa. She's playing LOL. I might come and watch, because League of Legends isn't really my thing either, but that's something more I relate to. The whole ASMR thing freaks me out.
Sure.
But it's just so weird that I'm able to make money doing this. And I don't think anybody should ever be shamed for finding ways to make money doing it. As long as it's within TOS, it's not breaking the law, and you're not hurting anybody. Who the fuck cares? You don't like you don't like that person's content? Move the fuck on. Like, it's not that hard to just ignore the internet.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of in that same vein, what do you think about the recent, this has been kind of a recent issue that's been popping off a little bit. I've now seen at least 2 instances of it, of the people who are doing the "you should be donating to me" thing. Because, like, that's on the opposite end of the spectrum of, like, oh, well, I'm telling people not to donate. And then you've got some people whose clips are circulating Twitter where they're like, well, it's just $5. I don't understand why you can't spare $5 to subscribe to me and things like that.
I feel like those are people screaming and stamping their feet saying, pay attention to me, I want to be relevant. That's all it is. That's all that is. Because anybody who's been doing this for any serious period of time can see that as just I'm trying to get views. That person, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, there's been 2 people now.
Yeah. Well, one of the 2 people I know you're talking about, they were doing that to get a reaction. They knew what they were doing. The
first one?
I think both of them. I think they were getting a reaction to get more views. I mean, all right, let's just say the name, Alinity.
Sure. Was Alinity doing it?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh, I was like, Alinity. I didn't see Alinity do that.
She knows what she's doing. She's not dumb. Every few months, she starts to fall off, and then suddenly something crazy happens, and bam, everybody's talking.
Like we all forget that she exists, and then she
every single
does
time.
something.
And she'll always keep a viewer base off of that, and her viewer base will grow. The cat thing, all I could do was talk about her because I was so pissed about it. So spitting vodka into the cat's mouth or throwing the cat. I
had strong feelings about that as well.
Yep. And then, was the nip slip accidental? Maybe.
Who knows?
Was it planned? Yeah, probably. Did she knew she probably wouldn't get much punishment for it? Fuck yeah, she did. She knew she wouldn't because she makes Twitch a fuck ton of money. Now, if you had done that, you would have caught a 30-day ban or a permanent suspension. Because
absolutely.
You would have been mass. I mean, look, fucking Cat just got mass reported a couple weeks ago for playing South Park, the second video game.
Who was?
Cat like meow. She got suspended for 7 days because the game made racial like slurs and references because it's South Park. South Park's not on the ban list, but she got banned because she got mass reported because of the game because apparently somebody got mad because she turned her down in DMs or whatever. But like, yeah, super weird. Like he rallied all of his incel brothers and said, "Brothers, let's report this woman," and that happens. Like the communities are so weird, man, so weird. And the way the double standard, as Retro said earlier, is there in every level of Twitch, every single level.
Oh, for sure, And like that's what I was talking about earlier about like the politics of it all, because there's definitely if you make more money for me, then you can get away with things. But I'm really upset with the kind of precedent that they set by not giving even a 24-hour suspension for what was done to the cat, and then giving suspension for the nip slip, because it's like that was. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt for that and say that was an accident. It could happen to anyone. And like, so I am inclined to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that was a mistake and that it just happened. It may have been intentional, sure, but without knowing, I can't say. So I'm inclined to say that, it could have easily been a mistake. But regardless of that, it could have happened to anyone. Yep. Absolutely anyone could have had that happen. It's not uncommon for people to have like wardrobe malfunctions or nip slips.
I wasn't mad about the nip slip at all.
No, and I know you weren't, but I just mean I'm really upset that that's the standard that they have set with saying like if you have a wardrobe malfunction or there's something like that happens, then there's going to be these more serious consequences, but things like animal abuse are going to be overlooked. Yeah. And that's bothersome to me. Slurp said in the chat, like my man's Immortal Technique says, a beautiful face can capture my attention, but hold up, I lost it. It went away. Beautiful face can capture my attention, but only a beautiful mind can hold it. And that is more or less what I have said 1,000 times, which is if someone is using like the sex sells technique to get their attention on Twitch, more power to them. That might bring some people in, but there are two factors that I think need to be considered with that. One of them is that if that person is dull as shit and just cute, people are gonna leave because like you can only look at the same cute face for so long. And then two is that doing that then opens up for a lot of harassment and a lot of negativity and a lot of salt and a lot of bullshit. And like, so that person now has a lot of that to filter through also.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not stealing your audience. They were here for something, and they're either harassing the shit out of that person, or they're not. They were only looking for that, and we're not going to look for you anyway.
Yep.
The like stealing my viewers thing is the most irritating thing. I hate that because it's like every time that I post, even in this, like, I mean, there's like what, like an inch of cleavage, right? Like, even in this, if I were to post myself or post a picture of myself wearing this, I would get people in here who are, and on Facebook, who are harassing me, who are shitting on me, who are calling me titty streamer, who are all kinds of nasty, as well as I would have people who are in here and over there who are like, show me your boobs and whatever. And like, that's a thing that I have to deal with just for like being a woman if I wear anything that's even a little bit revealing. And it's like, is that what you want, sir? Is that what you would like? Is that what you would like to happen in your channel? Or do you want everybody to come in and fucking ask for your nudes? And, well, I mean, probably. But it's like, I don't know. It's like Slurp just said, there's a huge trade-off. And that's a thing that I think people seem to overlook. And I think it's a little bit ridiculous.
For sure.
It's absurd. The Duelist says, show me Tron. I will not, the Duelist. I will not show you Tron. It will not happen. Blood Moon, they'd get banned if they showed up here. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love how these idiots have access to so much stuff, but they decide to come into a Twitch channel and ask for that stuff. That is an excellent point, because it's like...
I have to step away for just a second.
You gotta what?
Right. I have to step away for just a second. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go right ahead. I'm going to read chat. All right, I'm going to catch up on you guys. I think this is probably only going to go on a little bit longer, but let me see what we got going on in chat. I understand the premise of I'm providing you something. Throw me a couple bucks. I get that all the way. But to cause a big scene about it, not only is it rude, but it is disgraceful. I absolutely agree with that. Like, because yes, I also am like, hey, I do this thing every day. It would be really cool if there were a couple dollars thrown this direction. That would be super, super rad, but I don't expect it. Like, and I'm certainly not going to make a scene about it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, please allow me to continue to pay my rent. That would be very cool. Thank you for all of you who helped me continue to pay my rent. But that's not like a mandatory part of being a part of this community. Like, I love y'all as people, and I cannot imagine throwing a fucking fit about it the way that some of these people have been doing. Society as a whole is so weird when comparing how we handle sex and violence. Blowing someone's head off on TV gets a PG-13 rating, and some sex can NC-17. That's a good point, and like, not something that I've necessarily thought about. As far as like, I don't know, everybody lumps like sex and violence together, right? And so when I think about like, oh, how we're comparing how we handle these things, that is a really interesting point. And you're right, though. Like, you're right. It can be bloody and gory and nasty and still only get a PG-13 rating. And then any amount of like sex or nudity is all of a sudden R-rated or whatever, like R, NC-17, whatever.
That's an American thing for sure.
Huh?
That's an American thing for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's crazy how much we accept violence but not sex.
Yeah, I think that's really absurd. Like, why we're so much more okay with like he said, like blowing someone's head off versus like just a human's body. And because it doesn't even have to be sex, just like nudity. Yep. A naked person not even performing a sexual act makes it like an R rating, whereas like extreme violence can still be PG-13. Or I think that kind of also goes into a little bit of like I see these guys who, I specifically had one instance where a guy asked me for advice on Twitch. He said, oh, I see you're growing. It's really cool. I want advice. I gave him my advice. he wasn't receptive to it. And every time that he was not receptive to it, I was like, all right, man, sounds like you got it all figured out. Doesn't sound like you need me or my advice.
Why did you ask me?
Keep on keeping on, my dude. And then at one point, then he saw some pictures that I posted online and was like, oh, you're only successful because you're an e-thought and da-da-da-da-da and whatever. You're a joke. You're a fraud. Blah. And he was so bent out of shape. And then he started posting on Facebook on his personal page about it. And then he made a whole stream that night where during that stream, all he did was rant and rave and like call me out and yell at me. And he had that night 10 viewers. And that's probably the most viewers that man has ever had. All 10 of them, it was like me and Zombie Girly and Jace. And like, I mean, it was me and my friends. You know what I mean? It was just like my people who were like, what's up, homie? And like he was getting reported like crazy. It was so absurd. But so he was very upset about this picture he saw of me in my underwear and was like, oh, this is why. And like, and it was on my personal page. It wasn't even on any of the Twitch groups. It was on my personal page. And he was like, this is the only reason you're successful. And then one of his big arguments was, you can't be this way when you're streaming on Twitch. What about the kids? Think of the children. And that's my favorite argument is like, but what about the kids? Because also this stream, hello, hi, if you're new here, you probably had to push a little button when you got here that said that you were of age because this is a mature content stream. If kids are like, and I know that kids can just like watch stuff that is mature audience stuff. Like I know that kids can bypass that. We all did it. It happens. Yep. What the fuck? Okay, wait, what does your shot glass say? Or not the shot glass, but what does your glass say? What is your I understand that it's Elvish, but what does it say? That's why I freaked out.
It's whatever was written on the ring.
Okay.
I got this in a humble bundle or in a loot box.
Like, I have an Elvish tattoo.
You so, don't say.
So
I've been sitting here sipping on it, waiting for you to see it. But
I love it. Okay, I'm sorry. But I love Lord of the Rings. But no, it's like when he's like, think of the children, and like I understand that kids can bypass that thing. It's just a button. Like you don't have to verify your age. You just gotta click the damn button and say like, yes, I am of age. Whatever. Anybody can do that. But whose fault is that? Not mine. It's the parents' fault for not monitoring that shit better. It does not fall on me. I took the proper precautions and said, hi, this is a mature content situation. You shouldn't be here if you're not old enough. And if you're here anyway, that's really not my problem.
It's your parents' problem.
But this dude who was ranting and raving about, but what about the kids who were on Twitch? While he was having this conversation and with no one, while he was talking and raving and ranting about bullshit, while me and my friends sat in and reported him to Twitch, he was playing a UFC game with women in bikinis and like
double standard.
I just was like, I want to understand why this. Like, what? Why is it that we're okay with it in video games, but like, why can we handle nudity in video games, in anime, in drawings, right? Like, if it's art in the form of a TV show, a video game, or whatever, if it's not a physical human, then it's fine. But like my titties are not okay. Like what is that about?
Because America. Literally. I mean, you got to this is totally like grasping, but this country was essentially built on Puritan values. Like, I mean, they were the first people to come to America and then, slaughter and all other fun stuff. But like, it's been a Christian nation.
I hate that. We're not in a theocracy.
I know we're not, but that's what everybody wants us to think.
Oh, I know.
Well, it's so crazy how nudity is just so bashed on. And don't get me wrong, I was raised that way. Like it was a bad thing, and it was naughty, and it was terrible, and you should never look at boobies. And Vicky Valancourt showed me hers, not like those two. Okay, I'm bringing back. I'm sorry, but it's just so weird how we can't just appreciate a naked body and just go cool, awesome, like the Greeks and Romans did. I mean, why can't we do that? Like, why can't we just
Yes.
appreciate it?
Yes. Absolutely. And like, oh my God,
You're right, Jenny.
I saw a post recently that was like, what did it say? It said something about like when I look at Renaissance paintings, or they said like, okay, well now that we're living in plague times, I understand why Renaissance paintings are just people lounging with their titties out.
Yeah,
Cause same, like, cause what else is there to do?
So true.
But lounge around with your titties out and drink wine. What other options do we have right now?
You gotta love the Norse though, dude. Like seriously, just run
What?
into kind of naked. What Blood just posted. Do I call Blood Moon or Lilin or what?
I usually call him Blood.
Okay.
He also goes by Shadow. There were many Norse that would storm into combat naked as a measure of intimidation or showing their lack of concern for receiving wounds. Fuck yeah. Like, why does nudity... That's the thing that bothers me, is, like, when and where and why did nudity become inherently sexual? Like...
Puritans.
Like what's wrong? Why is my body automatically a sex thing?
Like, literally, that's it. Like, just, it boils down, as many things do, to religion. Oh, we got a rant coming in.
Oh, wait, what?
Speaking of Norse, though, have we seen the Assassin's Creed trailer?
No.
It's all Norse. It's all Viking.
That's rad.
And they brought back the Hidden Blade.
Finally. Hell yeah. Oh wait, what is this? I'm seeing this shit a lot in photo communities as well. Artistic nudes and boudoir attracts a literal shitstorm of hate, and it's like, that's a human. How is it any different from any other portrait? I agree.
I have a lot of photographer friends that do boudoir and, you know, just the artistic nudity, and they can't post anything on Facebook because it gets mass reported. And some of it's just really, really good. My friend Katie just did a photo shoot based on Renaissance paintings, but with real life people, and then she brushed them so they looked like an oil painting, and they were fantastic. Taste beautiful.
I did my very first
a 30-day ban because of it.
Really?
Yeah. Because it got mass reported.
Yeah, see, my very first cosplay photo shoot I did 2 parts. I was doing May from Overwatch, but I did like a magical girl variant of May where it was really cute. It was Sailor Moon May, but it was adorable.
Sailor Moon's my shit.
And I loved it. But it was like a 2-part photo shoot, and so that was the first half of it, and the second half was like boudoir suicide girl May kind of. But I was like, where do I post this? Like, what do I do with this? Because like this is fun, but what the hell do I do with it? Like, at the time I was doing, I had like a Patreon for stuff like that, but like I don't do that anymore. But I just like, and now I'm just sitting on these really cool pictures that are not even nudity, but are just like their boudoir, and I'm like, where am I allowed to post them? What do I do with them? What do I do
Twitter.
with them?
You can post them on Twitter.
I can't.
Why? R-rated?
No, it's some stuff with a sponsor that
okay, fair enough.
They prefer that I don't.
Fair enough.
So now I'm just sitting on them, and now I'm just like, what do with these?
Lycanthrope means shapeshifter slurp. That's all. Sorry, I'm totally jumping into chat.
Oh yeah.
We had mentioned that the berserkers were actually lycanthropes, which is what is normally referred to as werewolves. Lycanthrope really actually just means shapeshifter, somebody who assumes one shape and can change to another. Yep. But
I thought that was just werewolves. I didn't realize that was all shapeshifting.
Yep.
Oh my God, how do you pronounce that, Blood? Blood said no slurp. Some bizarre word with a bunch of accent marks would be the woven ones. I don't know how to pronounce that at all.
Blood and I will be great friends. I like.
Oh, I'm sure you will. I don't know why I have not linked you and Blood up sooner. You two will get along swimmingly. Blood is actually moving up here to Ohio. And you'll be able to see him.
There you go. Thanks for the what is that? The phonetic. That's what it is. Norse by faith. Oh, nice. Well, good for you. I don't mean that condescendingly either. Good for you.
Like
Can come
legitimately
really
good for you. Genuine good for you.
legitimately.
You should see some of his tattoos. Blood has some really cool like Norse tattoo, or not some. He has one really cool Norse tattoo.
I never got hugely. I never got bigly into the Norse mythology. I've always been a big a Roman and Greek mythology person, which is why Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of my.
Are you hyped for Chaos?
What? Wait,
the
Chaos.
Netflix.
Explain.
There's a Netflix series coming out that's gonna be about Norse and Greek mythology.
You see this face?
It's come out this fall. It's hold on, let me.
In high school, those were like the main classes I excelled in, was the Greek and Roman mythology. Like, and when Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out, because I don't like Assassin's Creed, I'm just not a fan of the series. Like,
I liked it the first like 3 or so, but I
played all 3 of them. I never got more than like 10 hours into each. Assassin's Creed I got for free with the Google Stadia beta 2 years ago. And like I haven't played a lot. I've played like 30 and a half hours of it. It's so good. But it's all Greek mythology.
Hell
like,
yeah.
It's my favorite, like Zeus and Hera. That's just love it.
Chaos. It's KAOS. It says this genre-bending series puts a modern twist on Greek and Roman mythology, exploring themes of gender politics, power, and life in the underworld.
I did hear about it. I saw somebody posted like a little blurb about it, and I was like, I have to find out more about this. I forgot it was from Chaos.
Yes, I just found out about it today actually, and I was like, and I actually the first thing because I found out about it shortly before I went on with you, because I was gonna tell Slurp about it, because I was like, ooh, Slurp will probably be really into this also, but I didn't have the time to text him before I got on here. I had a lot of things to do, so it didn't happen.
You and your fancy Stream Deck buttons.
Mm-hmm. I love my fancy Stream Deck buttons. They're important. They matter. Shit, what was I gonna say? He says, I'm Swedish and a student of ancient variant of Nordic languages for fun. I still struggle to pronounce that shit Blood posted, so don't feel bad for not being able to say it. I appreciate it. Missed what exciting thing is sad. Slurp, I said Chaos, KAOS. It's a new Netflix series that should be launched, I believe, this fall. That's going to be about Greek and Roman mythology. And I think it would be something that you would probably like. And I was going to tell you about it before the stream, but I didn't have the time. There was an amazing article, Slevin, that was titled Valhalla does discriminate. It's a heart-touching account of the various gods and the halls they rule over. I'll take it up and send you a DM. Very cool. Actually, oh yeah, do that. Pass it along to all the people. Cool. Rad. I didn't have... Huh? What?
We're making friends here.
We're making friends. Everybody's making friends. I love it. I love it.
Keep turning my mic down. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. You're just quiet as hell sometimes, but you know what? I'll deal with it.
Because I don't put it right on the notch it's supposed to be on. And sometimes, like, when I turn it down to vape, I'm like...
just fucking whispering into the microphone.
Yeah, it's the thing. So I know where it has to be, and I'd never get it right back there. I should just be using Discord mute, but I don't.
What mic do you use?
This
I know you said you just got a new one, right?
CAT 2035. I almost went 2020, but this one just had a little bit better reviews on like dynamics.
And it's what? And
it's the AT 2035. And I'm also using NVIDIA's RTX voice. So if I turn that off, hold on a second. You might be able to hear the fan when I'm talking. Maybe. I don't know. This mic's actually really good at filtering out background noise. But I have with this software, you can actually run a vacuum right next to the mic, and I can still continue to talk, and you'll hear me, and you won't hear the vacuum. It's nuts.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, those of you that are that just kind of follow the Grovelore series that have potentially seen or heard the past 2 episodes on Spotify, on YouTube, on whatever, and are hearing now, you may notice that I am sounding a lot clearer.
He's got a new toy.
So special shout out to one of my moderators here on Twitch, Christian. His username is Photography Elite. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. He does a lot for the stream, for the podcast, for the community, for me as a human being. And he sent me this mic. He sent me this microphone from Sweden out here. He sent me the mic as well as the boom arm, and it came with a pop filter and everything, and it's wonderful, and I absolutely adore it.
It looks great. Sounds good.
I love it. I'm so happy with it. I have been very self-conscious about my voice for like forever. Slev's making a face. Same. Same. But yeah, so Slev's making a face at a thing in chat. Big same. We don't talk about people's bodies here, friend. But like, I've been self-conscious about my voice for like forever. There was a time that someone, I was streaming with a buddy of mine, Toast Pals, and we were doing a co-stream, and someone in his chat was like, someone in his chat said, like, who are you streaming with? And he was like, oh, I think I was at the time still Peachy, and he's like, oh, it's Peachy, and he was like,
oh, Peachy.
And he was like, oh, it sounds like a dude. I was like,
what?
Oh,
no, not even a little bit.
And so then for the next several streams, I was very like, oh, hi, like, whatever, how's it going? I'm here today. Like, I would like pitch up my voice a little bit to like sound more feminine, because I was self-conscious about that. And I've hated my voice for, I think, like my entire forever. And that's why I don't ever edit my VODs or my videos. My YouTube is lacking because I hate editing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I hate the sound of my own voice. But thanks to this microphone, I do not hate the sound of my own voice anymore. So thank you, Christian, for that blessing.
I've been in theater and choir like my entire life. And like hearing myself speaking is always like the worst thing in the world. I don't like watching my own content. I've been in a couple of local movies and stuff, and I don't go and watch them. I don't like, I support them, I share them, but I never really go to see them.
And that's what sucks though. Because I also don't like watching my own content, but you have to watch your own content.
You have to.
You gotta.
And Twitch streaming has made that a thing for me. Like, I go back and I constantly watch my VODs, and I critique the shit out of myself all the time. And I've just started downloading my VODs because Lisa gave me one of the best pieces of advice on the last panel. And she said, you idiots are streaming story games and you're not editing your VODs. That's free content. I was like, oh shit. So when I started GTA last week again, I was like, all right, I want to make sure to download these. When I'm playing Final Fantasy, I'm downloading those. And now I have to go through and listen to myself.
God, I have the grossest backlog on, like, because I record all of my streams. I just have it set to auto record when I hit the go live button. But I haven't edited any of them. Like, I haven't made any content for, like, YouTube. And
that's the one thing I want to do this year is, like, just do it. Because I'd be lying if I said I didn't want to grow and be a bigger streamer. And you know, if my VODs, if my edited VODs bring that to my channel, or if I find a niche that I'm good at that I can just start doing YouTube videos on, so I don't have to edit my own shit, 100%. Which would be super nice. Like, if I've been toying, I've got a drone, I've got GoPros, I've got all kinds of other fun stuff that I can make content with. It's just one, finding the time, and then two, to edit on top of doing everything else that I do.
Yeah,
it's just And I've got all the softwares, I've got all the hardwares, like I've got Adobe Premiere, I've got After Effects, and I know how to, I'm dangerous with them. That's about it.
Yeah.
But it's putting the time into it when sometimes I just want to sit down and just play a mindless video game for 6 hours. After dealing with customers all day. And you worked at Best Buy, you understand.
Oh yeah, I worked at Best Buy in the mobile phone department.
We had a long conversation when she came up here about our Best Buy histories, because I worked there way before she did. And
the mobile phone shit was such nonsense. Oh my God, I loved when I would get pulled to other departments. Like, if mobile was slow, but PCs were like popping, and someone was like, hey, Sierra, can you like slide over into computers? I was like, bitch, yes, please. Please let me slide into computers. Get me the fuck out of here. Don't make me fucking talk to anybody about this shit anymore. Let me just talk about laptops for like indefinitely.
When I worked at Best Buy,
what's that? You need someone in home theater? Oh, what was that? Car audio?
Computer
I
was
don't know
my
jack shit about
thing.
car audio, but let's go. Let's do it.
I when I worked at Best Buy, smartphones were like that first iPhone had just come out, 2007.
Showing
So
your
yet
age
again,
again.
showing my age. So great, look at that. Okay, everybody pay attention. Um, so when I was doing computer repair after that, like when I went to go work for my now partner, like cell phones weren't a thing that we were worried about repairing. Like it was computers, laptops, maybe a game console every once in a while, sometimes a TV, but phones, no. Now, like 90% of our business is phones. It's
Really?
ridiculous. It's crazy. Oh yeah, they're the biggest money makers because they're so fast to turn around, but they're expensive, and labor is not cheap because it's especially with like a Samsung phone, it's intensive. But selling cell phones, I've always hated because I was in cell phone sales for 2 years. I sold prepaid Metro. That was fun.
You sit
Not.
down with those bitches for like 2 hours
It's
and
the
got to do
worst.
and like, you know what's worse than having to sell a standard phone? Having to sell a prepaid,
Basic
a
AF
prepaid
entry phone.
When someone's like, because someone would come in and be like, I want a prepaid phone, and I'm like, you can buy that prepaid phone, and they'd be like, cool, I'll buy it. Will you activate it for me? And I was like, no, I would like to
Here's the
not
card.
do that.
Here's the manual. Let's go.
I'll tell you how. I would like to not, because it's a lot easier for you to do it from your computer at home than it is for me to do it from the specific system that I have to use. But like, I mean, I couldn't tell them no, so they'd be like, well, activate it for me. And I'm like,
That's why we don't sell service in my store. We sell phones that are unlocked for certain services and we fix them. That's it. We don't deal with the service and activation and shit.
yup, because it's
Well, we do unlock
absurd.
iPhones, which is kind of fun.
Oh, you do? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I just fucked up my brightness. I figured out how to fix my camera settings while I'm in the stream. So here's my problem. I have a window right over here, and just like lets the sun in. And then as I stream and it gets later in the night, and the sun goes down, the issue I have is that it changes the fucking lighting of my whole goddamn room.
Oh yeah, mine's like blowing out right now.
My whole fucking life. So I'm like changing everything right now, and it's a mess. Why is that happening? Why that? Like, look at that. Look at what's going on. What are we doing? This is a mess. Christian, this is somehow your fault. It's not. I take it back.
It's just a scapegoat. That's always good.
Oh, yeah. I'm just yelling at Christian because Christian and I were talking before the stream and, like, sorting some things out, and this is what we decided on, and now I'm struggling with it, so it's Christian's fault. It's Christian's fault. If you are listening and not watching, I look like a cartoon character right now. And everyone who is watching is just going to have to deal. Sorry. Not sorry, actually. Done apologizing for shit.
There, I'll join you in the dark room.
That's my new thing that my therapist has been working with me about, is not apologizing for things that it does not make any sense to be sorry for. Like having emotions, or for my technology not agreeing with me. It's not my fault, and I'm not sorry.
Oompa loompa doopity doo.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That was some bizarre shit, and I dig it. Vibe. It's a vibe, and I'm about it.
Total vibe.
And I'm here for it. All right.
What else you got for me?
That is all the things that I have prepared for this conversation. You're making a face.
Who, me?
Oh, you were making kind of a face. I was like, what?
Oh, I was reading, and my face does things when I read.
Oh, I'm like, what are we doing? What's happening? What are these emotions? I don't have feelings, just feelers. Don't pull on them, though. Wait, what?
Lewd?
Lewd as heck. Okay, so that is all of the conversation that I had prepared. But, Slev, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. It has been an absolute delight just shooting the shit and talking with you and hanging out. I've loved it. It's been wonderful. You're wonderful. Just yeah, thank you so much. Do you want to do a closing kind of outro for yourself? Do you want to tell us again who you are, where we can find you, all that stuff?
Once again, my name is Slevin Kalevera on all socials, pretty much Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Slevin Kelevra TV if you want to follow my stream page. Otherwise, facebook.com/SlevinKalevera for my personal page. I am totally wide open with who I am and what I am. Slevin Kalevra is James Saville. Just check me out, man. Come hang out. Check me out any day. Keep supporting awesome streamers like this lovely lady. Wait, hold on. She's over here, right? Hold on. Wait, let me look. Yeah, right there. Okay, cool. Make sure you keep checking her out and supporting her and supporting other streamers like her, because they are the backbone of Twitch. And I hope you guys had a good time tonight, because I know I did. So thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you so much for being here. Thank you guys so much again for hanging out here. Again, Slev, it's been a delight. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
It's been a blast.
Appreciate you.
Love your face.
Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Be excellent. Good night.